person.
What, you don't have Agent 69? He lives right down the street from me.
Does he actually?
No. I don't know. I don't remember who that is. I think it's just someone I friended online. Alright, so I guess we're starting then. So you know what I gotta say to starting? Fuck. Shit. Bitch. Cunt. Pussy.
Alright, now you're going a bit far.
Look, we gotta make sure that YouTube knows that we're not kid-friendly, okay?
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, you stupid bitch. You're a bitch. You dumbass bitch. You're a bitch.
I wonder if YouTube's got the message yet.
No.
I would hope so.
I hope so, because I don't want to keep going with that. So, a good first impression, Grant?
Alright, off to a good start.
Yeah.
Welcome to probably the dumbest thing you're going to do this week.
It probably is. You're probably not wrong.
I feel like anytime me and you are involved, it's always automatically the dumbest thing Grant has to deal with.
Yeah, it usually is.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah. Just with various school things and what I have to deal with. Not necessarily people, but just things I have to do.
Yeah,
that
your
I hate.
teachers always assign you the weirdest shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That comes with being in college journalism, but...
Nice.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. I do all these weird reporting projects. But...
Well, I'm an artist, and I don't have to deal with nearly as much stupid shit as you, and that's surprising.
I just work at a grocery store.
Well, that's you.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It is. I should get that fixed.
A lot of stuff isn't actually as bad. It's just kind of like out of the ordinary.
Ah, fair.
Like, so it's alright most of the time.
Alright.
I like being on radio.
So that's not too much different than this then, is it?
Oh, no, not at all.
It's
Okay.
basically like...
Except this is a lot more, like, laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear how we started this?
Imagine saying that on the radio.
I think I'd be kicked out of the class.
I think that's technically against the law.
How to get fired instantly.
I mean, you haven't heard the songs that we played on that radio station.
No, I haven't.
It was I don't know what the regulations are for censoring on there, but some stuff would get censored.
I'm pretty
some
sure
stuff
there's
wasn't.
a law that you can't say fuck before 10 p.m. on like TV or radio.
Okay, this I was never informed of.
I learned about this in GoPo.
Okay, well, I had to...
But we very briefly went over it.
I had to learn all kinds of, like, FCC regulations and stuff going on there.
I don't know if that's true or not, because my GoPo teacher was an old man.
Something tells me that's not, because how are you supposed to regulate that?
But then again, you don't see shows and like, things on the radio say fuck, ever.
Oh, you're not wrong. But
You know
But then there's like TV channels that say fuck after 10 p.m.
There'd be some songs on the radio station that we would play that would, like, drop an F-bomb in it, but there were others that would censor it. So I don't know what, like, the regulation for this is. But...
Radio songs are weird. Like, what's that one song where it's like you gotta eat the booty like groceries? And it's like that's allowed on the radio.
What?
I don't know who fucking.
I don't think I've heard this song before, and I don't think I want to.
There's a song that came on the radio one time by a band called Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. And I might have sent you a picture of that. I'm not sure, but it was on the playlist. It was right there, and it was the hardest thing ever to hold back a laugh when I was reading that off. I don't even remember what the song was called. It was actually a good song.
Look, if your band name isn't fucking stupid as shit, then it's not a good band.
Then you don't belong on Care on You.
Dude, the Pillows, fuck them. It's not a weird name.
Yeah.
So anyways.
There was a band that came on called The Women.
Was they actually women?
No.
Oh, man.
Actually, no, I think it was just women. It wasn't even The Women. It was just women. And like, I was like, it was this song by women. I'm like, I don't think this song had no women in it. Like,
But was it about women?
I don't think so. It was a band, though. That was the band name, not the song.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. If the band is called Women, do you think the song would be about, or the songs they make would be about women?
It wasn't, though.
So I don't know, man. Death grips. There's nothing about. Okay, I was gonna say there's nothing about death, but that's a straight lie.
Yeah, no, that's an absolute lie.
Oh man,
Yeah.
we're 44 minutes in, and we just
44 minutes?
No, 4 minutes.
I was gonna say, how long have you been recording?
I saw 44 seconds, and I said 40 minutes, and I was like, wait.
That was the fastest 44 minutes of my life.
I think it's time we clang.
Yeah.
We haven't clanged yet.
Maybe.
Nice.
got today, boys?
Frosty root beer.
Nice.
Yeah, very generic.
But
It's good.
I got some Flying Cauldron butterscotch beer, and it's the fucking shit.
That is an awesome name.
I got South Fork strawberry rhubarb.
Ooh, rhubarb.
Yep.
Ooh, sorry, I need to specify this. It's butterscotch beer, but it's also non-alcoholic.
Oh yeah, I remember saying that, and I was like, wow. It's a,
Wow. Wow.
wow.
Wow.
So yeah, welcome to Splash Screen, the award-winning podcast.
This is going to be the most unstructured podcast ever because we have a guest with us.
So yeah, I am Dranks.
I'm Freebiy.
And we have our friend Wadey Clover, who he's on many videos, is he?
No, well,
Every once in a while.
and it doesn't help that we don't really do videos anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting more of a focus on Twitch right now, so...
I'm very occasionally in some of that stuff, and most recently I was guest in the chat in a Minecraft stream that was at like midnight while I was working on a project.
Yep. That was also me too. So
Yeah.
he's a very occasional person, and I think we mention him every now.
Oh yeah,
and
we
then
talk
as well.
we talk about you a lot on here.
So I'm also popular even though I've never been here?
Yeah.
Nice.
We talk about you more than Tyler.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I'm better than Tyler.
And that's not hard to do.
We love Tyler though.
Yeah. So Grant will probably be you'll probably become more familiar with him in time.
Yep. He might not be like an every episode kind of person, but I think he'll become more than just a guest.
It'll be a special occasion.
A very special boy
Yes.
in town.
A very
Oh,
what are
you looking up?
a mildly important boy.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It took a second.
I'm not even logged into Discord. I just remembered it.
I was gonna say why did
Just look at Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is it taking you so long to open
But
Discord?
technically, in Discord, he's one of the big boys, not the mildly important boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're one of the big boys now. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh yeah, we should probably also mention that the channel name is also now The Boys.
Yeah, fuck the B team.
This was a decision that happened in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Literally.
it really was. But I think it's kind of been something that's been in the back of our minds for a while now.
Not me.
Yeah.
Well, us, because we're the ones who actually do stuff with it.
Yeah. Plus, the B team is more than just one person.
Yeah, I didn't really think of that when I came up with it, but the
I
more I
liked the
thought of
name.
it, I liked it, but the more I thought of it, the more self-centered around me I thought it was.
I mean, I didn't really think much of that. I just thought, like, it was a good name, and having it, like, spelled that way kind of, like, made it different. I wasn't really thinking so much about, like, you in that sense. So,
Yeah,
like,
no, like, I thought that's been, like, a really deep in the back of my mind recently. It's like, this is named after me, and it's not just me.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
So that's one major change, and then we are hoping of changing the podcast name because there is another.
We are?
Oh, at least I'm thinking about it because
Okay.
there is another. There's another
said.
group called the Splash Screen that just happened to have a podcast.
Oh, really? Well, is it that the name of their podcast, or is that the name of
That's
the
the
group?
name of their group,
But
they have a podcast.
But it's not called the Splash Screen Podcast.
it's not, well, I guess it's technically the Splash Screen podcast, but it's not the Splash Screen podcast.
I think we need to sue them.
I don't think you filed a trademark for this.
Well, chances are they haven't either, so we can first.
There you go. Just
Good
go
point.
ahead.
Good point.
Does that work?
No, it's probably not.
Does it retroactively work if you file it? They already had a name.
I don't think so.
But anyways, I think that's all the housekeeping we really need to do. So I say let the games begin.
There's one thing that keeps me tied to the Xbox.
You always start these with advertisements.
I've worked with tons of PSAs before. I know this.
Well, how do you want me to start it? Do you just want me to say the name of the game?
That's what I do.
Halo the Master Chief Collection.
There you go.
It's now on the PC.
Yes, it is.
And the only thing that ties me to the Xbox now is you.
Hey, what's up?
Fuck you. I'm ready to drop the Xbox entirely, but I can't because of you.
Well, I apologize. I'm going to stay on Xbox.
But hey, we'll drop it when the PS5 drops, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was gonna do that regardless.
Yeah, Sam.
Well, I think we also need more details on the next Xbox. I would say.
No.
No.
For me, that
Persona.
I saw the design. I'm like, no.
The whole reason I want the PS5 over the Xbox, whatever, is Persona.
I wanted the.
You're gonna need to wait like
I
another
don't care.
5 years
I
for
don't
that.
care. I want it, and I need it. Technically, the Master Chief Collection is on PC, but it's really only Halo Reach right now. And holy shit, is it the golden days again?
That is like our Xbox, like,
That was our game.
yeah, that was like the thing that we got
and
together.
we still got it.
Yeah, like, I played a game of Rumble Pit, or Free For All, whatever it's called now, I don't know. I played the first Free For All match that I played yesterday, which is my first one on MCC. I won by like 5 kills.
Nice.
So I am still like, I'm still kind of in my prime, even though I'm not. But
I'll say this regarding our prime. I'm no longer in my prime when it comes to SWAT, and that's sad.
yeah, that is
Because
quite sad,
that was my prime.
You used to be like a pro.
Yeah. I've played one game of Griffball with another one of my friends and some randoms. I actually kind of prefer the Halo 5, Halo 4.
I
Griffball.
like how
Really?
fast paced it is.
Yeah, because Halo Reach is slower than I remember. That, and I really like the whole concept of throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Which wasn't added till 5, I don't think.
I think it was 4.
It might have been 4. I don't remember.
But
I try to not remember 4.
One thing I appreciate about Reach's Griffball is it's a little more strategic.
Yeah.
Like, with how slow it is. So it's not just run to the goal as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But
But if
Very
we could
good
find
farming
if,
XP,
if
though.
we could find like a middle ground between 5 and Reach Griffball, it'd be perfect.
Griffball is really good for farming XP in MCC.
It
so,
is.
Because of all the kills.
You
Let's
think that
see.
Microsoft would probably, just because this is like a Master Chief Collection and not like the actual Halo Reach, that they could add that kind of thing? Or at least add like it as like a setting?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
Because it's literally just re-releases of the original game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With the exception of Halo 2 and Combat Evolved, because those are also the anniversary editions, which is the bad graphics and the new graphics.
I prefer bad graphics. Well, bad graphics.
Yeah,
'Cause
same.
I think
Because that's what we kind of grew up playing with.
Yeah.
Not even because I grew up playing it, it's just because
that's what I grew up
I think
playing.
the actual like the layout of like the sort of textures and stuff, I think that looks a lot better.
One of my biggest complaints with Halo 2 Anniversary is that I thought the humans looked way too real.
Way too real.
I can see what you mean.
Like, don't get me wrong, Halo 2 is one of my favorite Halos, but the humans in the Anniversary Edition look way too real.
It's just like weird to see
Yeah.
them like that. Yeah.
Because especially with Halo 2, I'm used to like seeing like the polygons on them,
Yeah.
like the not smooth faces, like there's like kind of cubed.
Come to think of it, I think the old Halos, like their polygons, like their character models, actually weren't that bad.
No, they weren't. Except for maybe Combat Evolved, but that was also like a 2000 game.
Yeah.
That's still good for a 2000 game,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
2000,
I
2001?
think it was 2001.
I think it's 2001. I'm going to say it's 2001. That sounds more right. Fun fact, Combat Evolved was originally going to be a Mac exclusive.
It was 2001.
But then Microsoft bought Bungie.
Good.
Who on earth would want to play a game on a Mac?
Imagine playing games on a Mac.
And then Combat Evolved originally released as a console launch exclusive with the Xbox, but it was also released on PC. So MCC on the PC was not the first time Halo's been on the PC, but Halo hasn't been on the PC since Halo 2. And Halo 2 on the PC came out like 3 years after Halo 2 came out on Xbox. So
There was, I saw this video the other day. Someone modded Combat Evolved on the PC and made, I don't know if you've seen it, cursed Halo Combat Evolved.
I've seen a thumbnail, but I haven't seen a video of it.
It looks awesome. Like, seriously. Like, like, they edited, like, all the weapons. The Magnum won't shoot forward now. It will shoot towards you if you're firing. But you can also throw it, and it will, if you hit someone, it will hurt them. It adds the D20 the D20 grenade. And in the campaign, well, in multiplayer, if you use it, it will do it will do a random number of damage from I think 1 to 200.
Nice.
In the campaign, it will do literally anything. It can explode and shoot trees everywhere. It can spawn an elite and a ghost that will just keep spinning when it's firing.
That sounds fucking dumb as shit.
There's
I
also
want to play
it adds a scorpion that has 2 cannons on it that are pointing like sideways, like at a 90-degree angle, and there's like a sniper, like but the barrel of it is like a noodle, so it's like just like kind of like wobbly.
Man, it's a good thing that I actually have the disc for Combat Evolved on PC somewhere. Because I got Combat Evolved on PC at one point to make like a Let's Play of the campaign, but I never ended up doing it.
Also added
So I have the disc for Halo 1 and 2 somewhere.
He also added a Warthog stretch limo, so it can fit 6 people as passengers and a gunner.
That's great.
It looked awesome.
God. The joys of modding,
Yeah.
which MCC on PC will support.
It will?
It will support modding, and I think there are basic mods out there already.
Really?
I haven't messed with any of them yet.
I think that there's just like a very, very few out for reach.
Yeah. So, I'll mess around with those at some point.
But for now, Master Chief Collection is pretty good.
It's
great.
It's a 15 out of 10 because it's just Halo Reach as it used to be 10 years ago.
Exactly.
With 60 frames per second.
Exactly. And in 4K if you can do that, which I can't and won't.
Well, you technically can, but yeah.
I mean, I can, but my monitor's refresh rate is 30
Yeah.
hertz. So
Yeah.
that's stupid.
So it's made
That
for
I don't think my computer could do 4K.
It's made for 4K, but it's not.
Yeah. Wait, what's your graphics card? 1060, right?
1080, I think.
1080. Oh, if it's 1080, you can do 4K.
1080 or 1060. Might be 1060.
Okay, in that case, you can. Oh, and wait, your computer. Oh, yeah, your computer. Yeah, that you can't do 4K.
This thing can do 4K.
That thing can.
Because it's got a RTX 260 in it.
So I've been playing a lot, and I mean a lot of Devil May Cry 5. And let me just first by saying this is probably the most ridiculous game, and this entire series of Devil May Cry is just ridiculous in general. But for this game specifically, I wanted to start by... I'm going to say 3 things that happen in DMC 5 out of context, and I want you guys to figure out which one actually happens in the game, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So number 1, one of the main characters, Nero, he's in a church and he calls his friend Nico for help. And after about 5 seconds, Nico, in her van, falls through the roof of the church, drives in front of Nero and calls him an asshole.
That sounds very plausible.
Yes.
Alright, so number 2. So another main character, V, finds the Devil Sword Sparta, and after not being able to fully lift it, gets called a sissy by one of his pets.
Yep.
And then lastly, Dante gets a hat as a gift, and upon taking it, he puts it on, Michael Jackson dances for 30 seconds, then takes the hat as his new weapon.
Okay, that is not real. That cannot be real.
I wouldn't totally put it out of possibility, but I doubt that one. I would say number 1.
I'm going to say number 2.
Well, they all happen.
Oh,
Fuck.
where Michael Jackson actually shows up?
No, Dante and Michael Jackson dances for like 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought you said that Michael Jackson takes the hat.
Yeah, that's
No.
why I said it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
I thought Michael Jackson himself was there.
No. He gets the hat, Michael Jackson dances for like 30 seconds, there's fireworks and spotlights and shit, and then you find out that's your new weapon.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I thought you said Michael Jackson dances for a
Yeah.
few seconds
No.
and then
Yeah.
takes the hat as his weapon.
No.
Like, what?
So yeah, if there's an entire video of just things that happen in Devil May Cry from 1 to 5 out of context, and I will send it to you boys because
Please.
it's fucking.
I've never played this game, but I want to see this.
It
Is
is
it on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass.
I should try it sometime.
It is.
He keeps trying to tell me to play it, and I think I will at some point.
You
but you
must.
know my track record of playing games.
Yeah, it is easily one of my favorite games of this year. Maybe, just maybe, of all time.
Ooh, that's
because
a bold
that
statement.
because it's been
Ahead
a
of
lot.
Warframe?
Yeah, because I don't actually play much Warframe. Yeah,
Oh, really?
Warframe's still up there because I love the game still. I just don't play it that much.
See, I'd like the game more if it wasn't such a fucking grind fest.
Don't you play World of Warcraft?
I only need one grindy game in my life.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, Devil May Cry 5. It's been a long time since I've been like so engulfed in a game like this, or at least like a game that I've had no prior experience to, because the only game I can think of that did this before would be like Smash Ultimate, but then again, I've been with Smash since
Smash is the reason we're friends.
yeah, it is the reason we're friends.
That is the weirdest thing. That's another story for another time.
That is another story for another time.
But that was, long story short, drawing Rob is what got us connected.
If
then-
that never happened, we wouldn't be doing this right
Pretty
now.
much, yeah.
And I would-
If you weren't drawing Rob the robot on a piece of paper sitting right next to me in art class, this would not be happening right now.
Third grade or second grade?
Third grade. No, third grade, because that's when I moved to this neighborhood.
I don't think I met you until 4th grade.
Are you sure?
I think.
I could have sworn it was third grade.
I don't remember, because I just know that one day you just kind of showed up and I liked you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, outside of just the sheer ridiculousness of this game that I fucking love, the gameplay itself is also insanely fun. So it's a character action game where you have 3 different characters. We have Nero and Dante, who were characters that were in the previous Devil May Cry. Then you have a completely new character named V, who is mysterious character in black, who reads poetry and
Nice.
has pets. And one of them is very talkative, and he is great. So they each have their own different play style. You have Nero, who's much more simple to play with. What is that?
Did you not hear that? Did you not just fart or something?
No, that was me, like, rubbing against the... I did that by accident. I moved, I, like, rubbed my thumb against the...
I was gonna say... and I looked at each other like the exact same time. We're like, what?
No, what kind of man do you take me for?
A disgusting one.
No. I'd probably argue I'm the least disgusting here.
I'd
Actually,
say you and I are probably close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
you're disgusting.
That's not wrong.
It's the reason we're doing this in my room and not yours.
I don't have space in my house, though.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
also
you
true.
have a very small room. So do I.
Yeah.
I have the smallest room, arguably. Anyway, that's not the point.
Yeah. The point is that we have 3 different characters. We have Nero, whose combos are really simple and easy to figure out, but he does have what's called Devil Breakers, which are basically these different robotic arms that you can swap out, and they each have their own different ability. You can charge them up to do some really big move, which will break the arm, but you can, like, take out a bunch of people at the same time. You have V, who... he doesn't actually fight himself. He has 3 different pets, and each of them, you have Griffin, who's the talkative one, who has, like, long-range abilities. You have Shadow, who, like, is the up-close one. Then you have Nightmare, who's the big fucking thing that will just nuke everything.
Oh, great.
So he's, like...
My favorite type of doing thing. I don't... That was weird. Ignore that sentence. Did not happen.
What sentence?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you have, of course, Dante, who has who just has this giant arsenal of all these wacky-ass weapons. Well, they don't start wacky, but then, like, they get wackier. Like, you get nunchucks, you get a motorcycle that you can beat the shit out of people with, and then you have, like, his form, like, his transformation form, where he, like, how do I describe it? He's just, like, basically makes it so that he gains health slowly, his attacks do more damage, and lighter hits won't actually stun him or take away from, like, your style meter. Because the more you, like, fight enemies, you have, like, style rankings that go from, like, dismal to crazy to badass to apocalyptic to I'm trying to remember what S is. Savage, super sexy, and then smoking sexy style. And basically, yeah, the goal with the way you fight in this game is that you want to try to get, like, your style as high as possible.
You want to look as cool as possible.
Basically. And that will actually make it so that your mission ranking will be higher, and then also the more, like, stylish you are, then you'll get, like, your devil trigger meter will actually go up, so then you can actually do crazier abilities. So each character is their own, like, different play style. I'd say that before, Nero used to be my favorite because of how simple it was and because it made it super easy to mix up, like, his abilities, but I'm coming to think that Dante is my favorite because it's so rewarding to be able to, like, figure out a combo, like a custom combo where you're just constantly switching between different styles and different weapons as you're beating the shit out of everything. And I mostly figured that out. I think it's probably mostly because of how much I fought the final boss, which I made a tweet about me going to the final boss.
I remember seeing this.
Yeah, me going to get my ass kicked for, like, the 1,000th time, and then the boss seeing me come to get my ass kicked for the 1,000th time. So we have mostly reoccurring characters, but we have new characters like V. We have Nico, who is Nero's friend, who basically you go to her to customize your weapons, and she also is just the best ever. There's a gag that goes on with Nico's van where she basically, whenever you call her, you can find payphones around, like, mid-mission, so you can customize, which is usually an indication that there's going to be a boss fight coming up. And so you'll just find a payphone, you'll call her, and then she will just come out of bumfuck nowhere. Like, the one I described in the first time was the first time that happens. The second time, she'll, like, come out of the ground like a whale erupting from an ocean. She's, like, she's like crashed into like crashed through like a wall that's nearby, and then like tried to stop herself from hitting one of V's pets and like started flipping over. I can send you guys that video too of just like every time she just shows up out of nowhere. It's the best, and you'd think that it can't get any more ridiculous, and then it does.
How long is this video?
That's a good question. I want to say it's probably like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Perfect.
Because they're just like cutscenes. They're just cutscenes that kind of happen every now and then.
Oh, that's great.
So you have them happening with Nero and V, and they're just incredible.
I want to try this game sometime. Since it's on Game Pass, it makes it really easy too.
Yeah, it's a game that, like I said, I didn't think it would grab my attention as much as it did, because I've heard great things about it, so I figured I should try it out, but I never thought it would be this good and this fun to play.
Yeah. Dante just seems like a cool character, because the first time I had ever seen him, it was in the game Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and in that game is actually pretty cool, even though probably you're into like fighting games, you might be Kishta, but
Smash.
So that's not like
I know what I am.
Yeah. But Dante is in that game. He was one of my favorite characters, just because he was like, he did everything he did was just like so cool, and he was actually kind of easy to use. Of the characters in it, one of the easiest, at least to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was so much fun to use in that. So I know that he has tons of style. And
so does that mean Dante for Smash then?
I think that's what's going to be the next Smash character, because Devil May Cry 1 and 2 got added to Switch recently.
Oh, okay.
So
I'd be fine with that, but I still want my boy in green.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's going to happen.
It's more likely than other characters.
Yeah, I mean, with supposed leaks, who knows if they're real or not. There's been just like leaks going around that there are some characters that apparently have been ruled out as a character, and Master Chief hasn't been one of those characters that's been ruled out yet. But who knows if those are real or not.
Some of them that have been popular theories, however, Sora, he's been canceled out, right?
I don't think Sora would happen, but he'd be a good fit.
And then the other
Sora has a lot to do with Disney.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Phoenix Wright.
That would be cool.
It'd be cool, but I think they already canceled him out as a possibility.
That'd be cool though.
I feel like I wouldn't be happy with it until actually they started playing with him.
I'm still
Phoenix
not
Wright's
happy
in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Actually,
he is. I've seen him, and I'm like, you know what? This can work. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying I might not be that.
I mean, I'm still not happy about Banjo.
I was fine if once the announcement video came up, because it was actually a good announcement video.
Like, I had died because of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the other guy died because of that. I'm his replacement.
Oh yeah. Good thing we made a clone.
It's a good thing we have clones on hand.
We have a spare Aiden on hand.
Always. You need to have one around always, because you don't know when I'm just going to explode.
Yeah.
I don't have my gun with me. I can just shoot you right now, but just grab another clone. But that's going to take too much work for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, you're right. Dante he's incredibly stylish. His whole shtick is that he's just the coolest fucking character ever, because he's a legendary character in the universe of Devil May Cry, because he's introduced as like the legendary Devil Hunter Dante.
The legendary Super Saiyan?
Legendary Super Saiyan Dante. And he's super stylish, he's super cool, and he just does not take anything seriously.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I heard somewhere he has like I might be thinking of something totally different, but he has a weapon that can turn into like 666 different weapons or something like that. That might be something else.
That might be something else, but
or maybe a different game in the series.
Yeah, but sure. He does have. It's not uncommon for him to have weapons that have multiple forms. Like in this one, you have like the nunchucks, which is the last weapon that he gets. They're nunchucks that turn into like. They have like 3 different forms where like the nunchucks are ice, and then there's a different form of them where it's lightning, and then you can turn into a bow staff as well.
Jeez.
Yeah. He has his arsenal in general is always really cool.
But they're not guns.
Yeah, but I think in this game especially, they're also very fun. Like the motorcycle is easily one of my favorite weapons. But
sounds like an awesome weapon.
Well, yeah, it's basically just like a motorcycle that breaks in half, where he uses them as like 2 separate pieces. But he has 4 different styles, which is Trickster, Swordmaster, Royal Guard, and Gunslinger. And if you use a sword with the motorcycle, which is called Cavalry, cavalier, then it will actually he'll actually put the pieces together and actually ride it around, and you can hit people with that. It's so much fun to use when you have a giant group of demons that you have to beat the shit out of.
Demons.
Yeah. So playing this game as any character is always really fun. Dante's my favorite just because he is super complicated to use, and getting used to that is a lot of fun and rewarding. But each character I love playing as, and V especially is interesting because of the fact that this is a character whose playstyle has never been seen in the game before, which is super ambitious to have not only a completely new playstyle, but to have a completely new character to be introduced with these characters that fans who have become very familiar with. He's honestly one of the best characters of this game. He's my favorite character of this game, just because I love the whole dark mysterious character who will read poems during combat and stuff. I don't know what else to say. This game is just incredible, and then the soundtrack is, I am still completely obsessed with it. It has been what I've been listening to for the longest time. You have really great fight music, and then you also have especially not just the characters fighting music, but you also have the boss themes as well, which are incredible. One of the bosses' fighting battle music is literally just Russian hard bass, and it's honestly kind of great still. And then you can actually purchase the old Devil May Cry battle music for this game, where you can play the fight music from Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I have 2s, despite how kind of shit that game is. The music is fucking incredible. So it's just, everything about this game is incredible, and I don't know if I can really put into words just how much I love this game. So
I think you just did.
Well, I'm mostly describing it, but to say how much I love this game would take 2,000 years at least.
Okay, we need to start the timer now.
Yep.
And go.
Yeah. But I think that's all I'll say about the game, because I think I've done more than enough gushing at this point. It is a game I could not recommend more.
Alright, so does that leave me?
Yes.
Okay, so mine, I guess 2 of you could partly help me out on this one. But, I mean, something that's taken up a lot of my time this year is the entire Persona series. It started with, I'm one of those people that kind of jumped in with Joker. And it started with 5, so yeah, any Persona fans listening, yeah, I'm one of those guys.
So am I, so don't worry, we're in together.
Yeah, so it got me interested. And then I proceeded to beat 5, and then Platinum 5, and then go on and play 4 and 3, and dancing spin-offs, and in the process of my 7th Persona game this year. So, which I am in the process of playing Persona 4 Arena right now. And, yeah, so it's just a really interesting series, because all of the games are just so different. They all kind of tackle a different, theme. With 3 is about death, 4 is about mystery and the truth, and 5 is rebellion, and just how they do all that and actually try to convey an actual big message is pretty interesting. One thing about 3 though, Persona 3 is probably the only game I've ever played that actually I feel had an impact on my life, just with just with what it's trying to say and kind of that theme of it.
Wow, good thing it's on my chopping block.
But it was just really interesting. 5, I think, in my opinion, is the best, just because it's something where I feel if you played 5 first, you're gonna enjoy it more, because there's stuff in it that you can kind of see, coming if you played the other games.
So it's,
in a way.
So it's the other games, but sort of perfected in a way?
Kind of.
Okay.
But I don't really know how to describe it. But gameplay-wise, 5 is far and away the best. Mm-hmm. Just how it looks and feels and all that, because... Yes, Aiden, you have a question.
Which one has the best music? Hello.
I think that's...
Shut the fuck up! It's telling me to breathe!
Oh, it does. It does that from time to time. I had to turn that off.
That's the first time it's done that!
Seriously?
Yeah!
It will do that a lot.
No!
I think you have to do that on the app on the phone. I'm not sure.
Ah!
He's talking about his Apple Watch, by the way. It's brand new and it tells you when to breathe.
Yep. Aiden does not like to breathe.
Yeah.
I don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to, especially when it comes to your well-being.
I don't want to breathe. Breathing is typical thought behavior.
But anyway, your music question, I feel like that's more difficult than you would think because...
Oh, I know it is. I've listened to 3 and 4 music, and they're all good.
Well, the thing is, though, is I would say that 5 has the best, like, base game music. Like, pretty much all the music in that is pretty good.
Well,
Yeah. But I enjoyed 4's, but if you take into account all of, like, the 4 spin-offs, because there's, like, 5, if you take into account all of that music, I would say that 4 has the best. 3, at least, 3 only has, the base game with it. It didn't really have any direct spin-offs, so it doesn't really have a whole lot to account for, and a lot of it you can tell very much was made for background music, and not, as in with like 4 and 5, those are like actual legit songs that you could like listen to if you wanted to.
and I do.
What?
A lot.
What?
I listen to 5 soundtrack a lot.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like Beneath the Mask, like that's like a legit song, and I could like, if I just heard that around, I wouldn't be like, oh, this is background music, like this is actually like a real song. But like 3 has a lot of just like that kind of basic background music, but yeah, it's really up to preference because all the styles are different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that has taken up probably a solid, let's see here, I spent almost 205
Hours?
200 hours in 5. 70 and 4.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Oh,
game.
and 5.
Yeah, 5 is a lot of game.
Yeah.
I spent about 75 in 4, about 72 in 3, 20 hours in 5 dancing, and probably about the same in 4 dancing. 3 I've probably beaten, I want to say 10. But yeah, that's a lot of time that I spent in those games, and it was maybe too much, but I've been enjoying it.
There's no such thing as too much Persona.
It's debatable.
I was gonna say that might be debatable.
I don't know. I don't think there is.
I've had
But
to
then
take-
again, I've only
You've
ever played
only
5.
played one game. You're now in the process of beating 7.
No, but I'm on the track of starting 3.
Yeah, but I still think that'll be hard for you to get through. It was hard for me to get through.
I mean, I'll push through it.
Nothing happens in 3 until like halfway through the game.
Yeah.
That was my main thing with it.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed it more than 4. Like in the second half of it.
Remind me, you started getting into Persona after Joker got announced, or was that before?
It was like right after.
Right after.
And
Okay.
like-
I got into Persona because he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Well, I mean, you could have just not listened. But
But you said so much good stuff.
yeah,
So he had to.
yeah, I almost forced you into doing it.
In a way, you did. Like I didn't get a PlayStation 4 Persona, but I'm
Yeah.
happy I got a PlayStation 4 Persona.
Yeah, and then Kishta is gonna get one for.
Yeah, that's one of the. Actually, it's not even just Persona. It's just all the PS like
There's a
PlayStation
lot.
exclusives.
Like I got my PlayStation for Spider-Man,
Yeah,
Honestly, that's fair.
and Spider-Man was fucking great.
it was.
Now, the main argument that I'm super interested in Persona because you know that I've like done so much research that I basically spoiled all of
You are.
Persona 5.
I know that you are missing one major plot point in it that you don't know about, and I don't want to.
I
say
probably
because you
I
will
probably
spoil it.
won't like look into it.
Yeah,
And
I-
as
yeah,
you shouldn't.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
Because I have finished the game
There's
now.
a massive plot point that I know that you do not know.
Okay.
Which is why I'm not really going to talk about 5 at all now that I finished it, because you don't know something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can basically tell me everything outside of like after Akechi. Maybe.
Maybe a little tidbit.
I'll leave it to you guys to figure it out.
I'm not going
'cause-
to say anything.
Okay.
We
Understandable.
can figure this out later.
Yeah. I've heard the argument that Persona has like a lot of really interesting concept, but it never actually goes right into it.
I think that. Well, like, what do you mean? Of like the overall game, or just like little tiny bits and
I guess
pieces
I
of the
don't know,
game?
because I think like maybe just like either the overall game or like bits and pieces.
Because I think that 4 probably does it the most. It actually deals with some actually kind of modern problems for when it came out in, I think, 2009, Persona 4. And there's a character in it who kind of questions his sexuality.
Oh yeah,
Kanji.
right.
he's my favorite character in like all the series. He is awesome. He is stupid, and like I always love a laughably dumb character. And that is what he is.
Yeah, I love him so much because of the fact that he's like this super macho dude, but he's gay, but he will never admit it.
Yeah.
But everyone knows.
Well, like, there's times where, like, you actually question if he is, though. Like, he gives off a lot of signs that he is, but there's also times where, like, is he?
Okay.
So, like, you legitimately don't know.
Okay.
But, like, and that's... I kind of like how it never actually brings that up. I was just kind of, like, off to the side. I was just kind of, like, something you can interpret, but it's not, like, something you have to know. Mm-hmm. But there's also another character in it who, is a girl, but they disguise themselves as a guy.
Oh, yeah, I figured her name.
Because, her name's Naoto.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, she is just, like, the stigma because she's a detective, and just, like, I guess she thinks that if she's seen as a girl, she won't be taken seriously or something like that in her job, but, yeah, and it's kind of weird playing that because I'm just like going through that with a game that was made in 2009,
which at the time would kind of make sense, but now it's kind of like normal.
Yeah. Like just weird to tackle that kind of.
It was incredibly progressive, actually.
Yeah,
surprisingly progressive.
It was. Well, I mean that one is the theme is the truth, and it's people just like kind of uncovering stuff about themselves that they didn't know. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, College, you're gay.
Yeah.
that's a game.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Kanji is gay.
But yeah, I spent maybe too much time in that, but
but at least you're enjoying it.
Yes, very much.
Mm-hmm. It's good to know you got a series that you can just look at and like, yeah, I love all of this.
Yeah, and I still have, let's see here, 3 more games to go after Arena. And then
that's
Royal.
That's all excluding
Scramble.
Royal, too.
That's excluding Royal and Scramble.
Yeah, which aren't even out yet.
Yeah.
In the West, anyway.
I still have, after Arena, I have Arena Ultimax, Q, and Q2.
A lot of game.
Yes.
I think if I play all the Persona games, I'm going to skip Q and Q2.
Those are on the DS.
Yeah.
DS.
Which is a big reason why I'll skip them, because I don't have one anymore.
Yeah. I'm super interested in Persona, but I'm tempted to not play just because I know that's a lot of game that's going to take up my time.
See, I've had an idea for something to do with you specifically.
Right.
But I'll save it for off the podcast just in case we don't or do it.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck off.
Well, one thing I could say, if at any point you do play 3 and like you don't know if you will want to do it, they did release movies, and for 3 they released movies for some reason, but then 4 and 5 it's animes. I mean like shows, not like they're all anime,
I know like, I'm not sure about the anime for 4 because I don't know much about it. I've just seen like clips, which is pretty fun.
I haven't seen all of 4, but it looks so funny.
Yeah, but I've heard 5. I've heard 5's anime is really shy. I've seen it, and it looks pretty shy.
But I've heard it's so bad that it's funny, so I want to watch 5 for that reason.
I don't know about that.
4, I think, was the funniest of all of them. It's the most like lighthearted one.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird because the beginning deals with murders. But
yeah, can we talk about that? Persona's such a fun, like, cool game, like, that's super light, but
it's got
the
so
subject
much
matter is
fucked
so
up shit.
fucked.
3, it is dark.
Yeah, it's all about death and stuff.
Yeah, like, that
to awaken your persona, you shoot yourself in the face.
3 is a depressing game, like, near the end. But,
so it's my kind of game.
Yeah. But, 4 never really gets, like, too bad. 5, it's kind of, like, right in the middle.
Yeah, 5 kind of comes and goes with it sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But 4 never really has any, like, big consequence part. Maybe one part kind of close to the end, but it also tries. It's also like impossible to get like the true ending for that game. Not impossible, but I had to use a walkthrough to get it. There's a part where someone asks you like all these questions, you have to hit the right answers every single time. Like,
oh god, I hate when.
And it's like you have like 4 answers for each question, and only one answer is the right one. If you mess one up, you get the bad ending.
I hate when games do that sometimes, where you don't know what you're doing, so you have to get a walkthrough. Mm-hmm. I think Life is Strange.
Should we talk about that? When you were there, when I got
for that?
You got the bad ending later.
Okay.
That's spoilers for
You
this.
made the choice, and then Grant's like, Aiden, you fucked up. And then you died.
Yeah, you messed that up big time.
You know, I didn't really think about it, because it asked me if I wanted to continue, and that should have been like a clear sign. It's like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, and any bad ending in that it will be like, are you sure?
I wish it didn't do that, because it should just be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Or at least if it did that, it should say that for the good ending too, which it didn't.
Nice.
But yeah, it's taken a lot of my time.
But yeah, it's a lot of game.
Yes, very much.
Alright.
I still have to beat Persona 3 The Answer now. That's the second part of Persona 3 Fez.
Oh god. I feel like that's the worst feeling, to play a Persona, which is a lot of game, only to realize that you need to play more Persona, which is even more game.
The next part is only like 20 hours, but I've heard it's insanely grindy and not as good as the original game. But I digress.
I think it's fair to skip. So I guess really briefly I'll talk about Monster Hunter World.
Yes. Have you actually been playing it lately?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think I want to go back into it.
Aww.
It's kind of
you have hurt me right there.
It's kind of like Warframe in the sense like it's a good game, but starting it is just pain.
You know, I can agree with that. That's why I haven't gone back into it.
Yeah, because there's so much shit that it throws at you, and you just have no idea what you're doing, and then
it's easier to get into than other Monster Hunter games. I'll give you that.
Okay, I'd imagine.
Which that scares me.
That does.
It's like, how hard is it to get into other ones then?
It just kind of drops you in.
Oh.
Like, it kind of gives you, like, the bare basics.
And then it just throws you in.
Well,
yes.
I guess at least with World, if I wanted to get back into it, I have you.
Yeah.
Plus, World does give you a lot of information.
Yes.
My issue with it is that it is so much, and I don't want to... I feel like whenever I play a game, I don't like it when it's like, here's a bunch of shit that you need to know. So memorize it and then go.
The problem with getting into World, though, is that if you were to like just do it and like have me kind of walk you through it, the problem is there's so much stuff it forces you to do by yourself that a lot of it is just gonna be me standing in a lobby and you kind of saying to me what is going on.
That's one of my biggest problems with the game. It's got the whole co-op feature, which is great for a game like that.
Yeah.
But when you can't play with your friends for half the mission, for the entire mission except for the final fight, that's my problem.
It's we've done multiplayer once, and I hated it because it was just like.
Now, if it was like everybody was in the same mission for the entire thing, that's perfectly fine.
There is a point
still be
where,
playing it.
And there's a point in it where it gets to like the only time where someone's left out is it's like you drop into the quest. Go find where the monster is. You find the monster. Okay, now everyone gets in.
Yeah.
But like the earlier ones, it's like do this thing. Now do this thing. Now there's a monster. Now everyone can join.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it takes a while, but.
And then it always takes a long time too. So your friends just sit there and just.
Okay.
It's a good thing both of those were empty, but like. It's just like you'll spend a bunch of time and your friends just sit there and do nothing because they can't join a mission because it'll take too long.
Yeah.
So the multiplayer.
Well, then I would get into the mission and just one-shot the thing.
Exactly.
Level 100.
So multiplayer is not great, especially if you have high level teammates and you're just like a low level character. I feel like if I got to like your level, then it would be better.
Even if you just got out of like the earlier quests, because I could just like downgrade my armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And like weapons, but like you're just in like all the tutorial missions kind of.
Yeah.
So wait, how far did you get?
Not that far because
am I farther than him?
You're probably farther than
Did you play after we played multiplayer?
I tried, but like there's so much shit that I'm just like not really ecstatic about to really want to get into it.
Well, I will say this: if you play it a little bit more, multiplayer will get better.
All right, I might just try and force myself to play a little bit more, so just so I can sort of hopefully see if it will. Like I'll be able to stick to it, but for now it's still kind of like the one thing I will give the game, the character creation fucking rocks.
It does.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I chose a female character, right?
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna have to look at something the entire game, it's gotta look good.
Yeah.
Jack Patillo.
I'm quoting that motherfucker. Thank you.
But my concern
he's so right.
My concern is that I heard that like the female armor does the same thing that like. Is made fun of in RPG games, where it's just like, oh, the guy's version of armor is like this really fucking cool thing of armor that's just like huge and makes him look cool. Then the females is like a bikini.
It does that with some armor sets, not everything. Though.
Okay, but so that's probably the only concern that I have about the fact that I chose a female character.
That's kind of related to another issue I have with the game. Not the whole like the differences in like the gender armor, but the fucking weapons. Like, they're cool, but I hate how fucking big they are.
I kind of like the idea.
Big weapons are awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not denying that, but like when the weapon is like 4 times as big as you, there's just something about that I don't like.
That's mainly like the great sword and like switch axe and stuff.
That's
so,
still,
like,
those things are huge, and I don't like that.
is it absolutely unrealistic? Yes. Is it cool? Yes.
But that doesn't mean I like it.
But that's the thing I like about that though. The fact that like it makes no sense, but it looks awesome.
Exactly. That's like the charm of it.
Yeah.
Like, why on earth do I have this thing that will freeze things when I hit it? Like, it makes no sense. It's not magic. Like, I'm not infusing with magic or something like that, but does it make sense? No. Is it cool? Yes.
Why do you think I like Devil May Cry so much? It doesn't have to make sense when it's fucking awesome as shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. I don't know who, I think I've said this before, like in the podcast that we had to bin, that I don't know whose decision it was to make the female models so fucking thick, but thank you.
Here we go on the thickness again.
No, it's not.
We've already brought this up in different conversations.
Yeah.
This conversation has extended far beyond the podcast, especially from the episode that we had to scrap.
Hopefully, loving listeners will get to hear that soon. But
Can I say it?
No.
Okay.
It has to come naturally. So yeah, I'll try to force myself to spend a little bit more time with them, but I'm not sure. I can't say that it will stick. Yeah.
Fair.
I tried that too. It didn't stick.
Okay.
Well, if any of you are ever gonna try again and actually get to the point where quests can actually be fun in multiplayer, let me know, because I will.
When is that?
You're pretty close, I know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a ways away.
But I mean, Tyler got to that point with me, and we actually really had fun with the game. Like, if he's like trying to grind for an armor set or something, that's when it actually like gets fun to do multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to reinstall it, but maybe.
Same.
Because if I'm not that far, my biggest problem is fucking the grind in that game.
Yeah.
But that's like more fun with friends. So.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like that early grind set part. That's just like
Because like I feel like I've always, like throughout the short time I played that game, I've always been like undergeared and whatnot because I don't want to take the time to grind.
It's also there's also kind of a learning curve, so it can be kind of difficult first starting out.
Yeah. It's definitely not like a newcomer friendly game.
Yeah. Just a series in general.
I'll try to get more into it.
I will say this though, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which is actually technically the newest Monster Hunter, because it came out after World, but like the graphics look like crap, because it's a newer version of a game that came out on the 3DS. So that's why that one's like your older Monster Hunters. They gave out like a lot of free DLC with that, and some of the packs came with like stacks and stacks and stacks of potions. So I have like 400 potions stored and putting my storage in that, and I have hit the money limit on how much you can have, because it gives you so many valuables that you can just sell. I have hit the limit from like 10 million zenny or something like that, and I have so much more like stuff that I could sell in reserve in case I run out.
Why'd they give you that much?
I don't know. That's just available in their free DLC.
I feel like that kind of takes away from it, though.
It does.
Well, I mean, it gets you through the early grind part.
Okay, maybe I'm fine with that, then.
I mean, does it go beyond that? Absolutely. But that's why I liked it, because it got me through getting like all my items and stuff.
It's a little too generous.
Yeah, I think it was a bit much.
Yeah. All right.
Should I talk about one more game real quick?
Go ahead.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Good.
Good.
I've heard incredibly great things about it. I want to play it.
You should play it. You should play it. You should absolutely play it.
People compare it to Dark Souls. I would honestly compare it more to Sekiro.
But people compare Dark Souls to Sekiro, though.
It's from the same people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's a Souls game.
Yeah. So what's the difference between comparing it to Souls and Sekiro?
So Souls,
Having played neither of those.
The thing isn't Sekiro is like more like a dex based thing, where it's like kind of like where it's basically like
that makes
more
sense.
swift movement.
That makes sense with Fallen Order.
yeah. So like with Dark Souls, you can really play Dark Souls however you want. If you want to be big tanky guy with giant stone armor and big hammer, you can do that. But if you want to be a guy who's running all over the place, stabbing stuff with the rapier, you can do that. Or you want to cast magic spells, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And even with like Bloodborne, that's like it's like fast movement, but you kind of have some freedom while you can do that. But it's mainly you can't be like slow, big hit guy.
They're comparing it to Dark Souls, less about like the actual gameplay of it, but more the difficulty.
Yeah,
actually, kind of sort of like the concepts are sort of the same.
It's really difficult, and there's like a little place that you can rest to like respawn the enemies and get like your health and items back.
Which is a great nod to other things from Star Wars. Because it takes you straight to the world between worlds.
Yeah. Is this very faithful to the Star Wars canon?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'd say for the most part. It doesn't really go too much into other stuff.
It introduces new stuff, but it does have some familiar things like the world between worlds, which is still a concept I'm not 100% behind.
It's weird.
But I enjoy the concept.
Okay. But like it's kind of similar to Sekiro in that a lot of it comes down to like when you can like block and stuff and like parrying attacks and knowing if you should dodge or if you should block it or like if you roll away and that kind of stuff. When in Dark Souls you can overpower your enemy if you want to and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I never do that in Dark Souls. I try to do like get my ass kicked.
I always try and overpower the enemy.
Does it work?
Well, if you go 50 strength build like I always do. That's what I do in Dark Souls.
Okay, that's fair.
But
back to Fallen Order though, I think I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10.
I would probably give it like an 8. I think that Sekiro did better, but for a Star Wars version of that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm not so more looking at it more like the gameplay. I'm looking at it from like the Star Wars aspect.
Yeah, it does very well in that.
For the first single player Star Wars game in 10 years, it's pretty good.
I agree.
Because the last single player Star Wars game was The Force Unleashed 2.
Which is also very
Wait,
good.
seriously?
Yes.
When did that come out?
Like 2009.
Yeah.
That I don't think is true. I want to say it was
It's an old game.
It is. Force Unleashed 1 came out 2008, I know. I want to say it was like 2010.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably in the 2010s, but that's still an old game.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun with that.
Yep, 2010. I was wrong.
Okay.
But still, in like the past 10 years,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good game.
Force Unleashed 2 was fun.
And they're already working on the sequel to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think with the ending of it could.
It could go either way. I'd be fine if they didn't, and I'd be fine if it was just one story DLC or a new game.
They could either leave it there, make it a story DLC, or just make a new game. It's pretty cool what they did with it. But yeah, it was a good game.
Would you say that Fallen Order is ambitious, or
No.
okay?
Well, as a gameplay or as Star Wars? Fuck off, Twitch.
Turn your notifications off.
Just take it off.
We're supposed to be
you're right.
professionals,
We're
goddammit.
professionally unprofessional.
We have standards.
We do?
They're not high, but we have.
That's how you let me on this podcast. You have standards.
Okay. I mean, in both ways, as Star Wars and as a game.
As Star Wars, a little bit.
Kind of.
Because they introduced some new things, but not a lot of new things. Mostly new... I keep saying new weirdly. Mostly new planets, one new species... Shut the fuck up. Mostly new planets and, like, one new species.
Okay.
But besides that, like, nothing out of the range of, like, what we have and haven't seen with the Force.
One thing that I like that they added, though, was, like, with... what are you doing?
I don't know.
Little breakdance right there. But,
Audio podcast.
but, like...
Oh, wow. IGN only gave it 6.5 Oh, this is Force Unleashed.
Oh.
IGN only gave The Force Unleashed 6.5 out of 10.
1 or 2?
It's IGN. Do you really trust them? Because
Steam also gave it 6 out of 10.
1 or 2?
1.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think 1 was better than 2.
It was. I think that 2's gameplay was better just because it was so much fun to use 2 lightsabers, but it was just so short and the story was so bad.
It was short.
But this is not about the Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah, the story is bad.
It was bad. The game didn't need to happen either.
No.
Yeah.
Because technically
I'm
the
kinda
light
glad
side
it did, though.
the light side ending to 1 is was like the canonical ending. Because the dark side, you go off and kill Luke and shit.
Yeah, the dark
And
ending.
it ended such a cliffhanger of
Yeah. Can we talk about the bad ending for Force Unleashed 2 was so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
They actually made a second Ultimate Sith edition for that.
Yeah.
There was an actual...
I should go back and play those at some point, because I have them on Steam.
Okay.
But not the point. Jedi Fallen Order, 8 or 9 out of 10, depending on who you
I
ask.
still think that's a solid score.
Oh, yeah, it is.
From what I've heard and from what I've
It's
seen.
way better than what IGN gave The Force Unleashed.
For recent Star Wars games, mainly because they've either been massive online shooters or mobile games, It's awesome.
Because
It's a very great.
comparing Fallen Order to recent AAA games, you got Battlefront and you got Battlefront 2. Battlefront, it was good for what we got. Battlefront 2 was a shitstorm at launch. It's really good now.
It is. I was so good at Battlefront 2015.
And then Jedi Fallen Order, it's a pretty solid game.
A very welcome change of pace.
Yes.
A very much needed welcome.
Yes.
And
change of
it's
pace.
surprised to be sure,
proving
but a welcome
EA
one.
wrong that we want single player games.
I'm surprised you missed my meme right there.
I, heard
I
it.
didn't hear you.
I said surprised to be sure, but a welcome.
So I want to play it. Wait, do you have it on Xbox or PC?
I have it on
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Shit.
It's on Xbox though.
It's on everything. It's on the Epic Store. It's on Steam. It's on Origin.
It's on both?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know about Steam per se, but it's on the Epic Store. And if you get it on the Epic Store, you get a Fortnite Stormtrooper skin for free.
Oh yeah, because I love Fortnite.
I
so
love
much.
Fortnite. It's my favorite game of all time.
They just like have a segment that's just hating on Fortnite.
It's not even that it's a bad game. I just don't care about it.
No, like Battle
got too
Royales.
popular.
Not even that.
Not
not
even
too
that.
popular.
It just like normally I love games that take themselves seriously, but that's too much.
I think it got too popular now. Now that's like the game that the game everyone knows about and like compare stuff to
Actually,
when there's like way
Yeah,
more.
maybe it is that it got too popular because
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm okay with what it is. I just hate seeing it
Because
all
I
the
love
time.
the genre of battle royales. Which, by the way, we should really fucking play Apex.
Oh yeah, Apex.
We
I've
need
been
to play
waiting.
Apex.
I've been waiting.
I know you have, but we should actually do it.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Once we're done here.
Right, and no.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
All right.
Right.
But it's. I'll give them this. That Star Wars event they did recently was actually kind of cool. Like their special events are actually pretty fire. The game, I have no problem with the game. I hate those 12-year-olds.
It's not. I just
They
hate
say
seeing it
how
all the time.
flossing is everywhere now.
God. That's not even a good Fortnite dance. I'd say the basic one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just do that sometimes. I don't. But
Okay, I was gonna say, please tell me, Graham. Like, please tell
I
me.
do
you're
that
not-
to Evan as a joke sometimes.
I don't know what to talk about.
I mean, I have something to talk about.
I have.
You start.
Okay. Well, I mean, really, one thing I'm pretty sure neither of you have seen is the movie Parasite.
No,
No, I've heard.
I've never even heard of
I've
it.
heard about it, but I've never actually. I know nothing about
It's
it.
in Korean. It's. I was kind of. I saw it for my brother's birthday. He wanted to see it. He wanted to see it, so I'm like, okay. And we saw it. It was actually pretty good. It sounds like it would be a horror movie by the name, but it's actually not. It's actually kind of funny. But it just. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like. It's, pretty much a basic premise is there's this poor family living.
Poor people.
Living, pretty sure I assume South Korea, and pretty much they're making all their money by folding pizza boxes for this place, and that's pretty much how they live. But then one of the son in the family, his friend tells him about this thing that's like job to teach English to this girl living in with this rich family, or daughter of like in a rich family. And so he kind of goes through makes all this fake identification stuff, and pretty much disguises himself as some university graduate who can teach English. So he gets this job, and so then they kind of start to exploit the family and kind of get they have a maid in the family. They get the maid fired so that the mom can work in the house now, and then the dad has his own personal driver that he picks him up from work. So they work to get him fired, so the dad gets hired, and so pretty much until all the families in there, and they're kind of feeding off of the family's money, getting all their money from the family. So
a parasite.
yeah, that's that's pretty much why. And so that's pretty much the movie. It's actually
That's
really
actually
good.
That's actually really cool.
I'd watch that.
It's pretty much entirely in Korean, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it, and yeah.
That's a super interesting concept, actually.
Yeah. I highly recommend it. It's very neat.
Where did you watch this?
It was at the University Theater.
Hmm.
I don't even remember what it's called. But there only has 2 theaters in it. But yeah, it was on campus.
I think I'll look for it because that sounds really interesting. When you heard Paris, when I said Paris, when you said Parasite, I was immediately thinking of
Drugs.
No, not drugs. The anime Parasite, the Medium, the Maximum, where like parasites come from space or whatever, and they like infect people's bodies and stuff.
No, it has nothing to do with infecting.
Okay, I thought that's where Novel was going to go. I thought it was inspired by that, but I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so then the main protagonist is basically the villain then, or just a
in a way? I wouldn't say there's actually like a villain in the movie, but
So would
like,
you describe it like as a comedy movie then?
No.
It
has comedic.
It's
like a lot of different things crammed into one. Like, in a way, I would almost say it's a thriller, kind of near the end of it.
So how many people die in it?
That I will not say. But
That means someone dies.
But it almost starts as a comedy at the beginning, but it like kind of changes like halfway through it.
Does it do it well though?
What?
Does it do that well?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Very well.
All right. Well, you got me interested. Nice.
I will not confirm or deny if someone dies in it.
Okay, fair.
Should we talk about something that we all have on our lists?
Sure. I'll let you go next, and I'll go.
The Mandalorian.
I haven't watched that.
I know. We'll bring up the thing we all have later.
Okay.
2 of the 3 of us have seen The Mandalorian.
Yes, and it was quite good.
Yes, and we've watched most of it together.
Yes.
Which
was
made
quite
it
good.
Which I think made it even better.
Yes.
Because
it was quite good.
Because as I describe us, 2 halves of a Star Wars encyclopedia.
That was a very accurate way.
And I think the 2 of us watching it together, bouncing ideas back and forth as we're watching it, was a good thing.
Yes. Totally agree.
What would you give it out of 10?
I would give it a solid 9.
I would also give it a solid 9. It's a very solid first ever Star Wars live action show.
That's like the most Star Wars thing to come out of Disney buying Star Wars.
Besides the Clone Wars season 7,
well, that's not out yet.
Which hasn't happened yet, but Filoni's in charge of that.
Yeah.
But he was also in charge of The Mandalorian partially.
Yeah.
People always make fun of how much care Disney's putting into The Mandalorian and how much care they're not putting into the new trilogy.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
The new trilogy was a mess.
I think they fucked up by giving the movies to different people.
Yeah.
They should have just given it to JJ the entire way.
Yeah.
Because JJ wasn't supposed to come back for The Rise of Skywalker. They fired the other guy to bring him back.
Even if Rian Johnson had the whole trilogy, I think it would have been okay.
Yeah, because when you're trying to split a sequential trilogy of movies between 3 people, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Especially when they do different things, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that JJ did not consult with the Star Wars story group at all, but Rian Johnson worked very closely with them.
That sounds like a mess.
I feel like it would be the other way around.
I don't know. I mean, because the more I think about it, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of The Last Jedi, it does seem more Star Wars-y than the other movies in a way.
I would disagree.
I'm surprised to hear that from you, because I've heard that it's a good movie, but it's a terrible Star Wars movie.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
it's still like more Star Wars than anything else.
I disagree.
It's more Star Wars than some stuff, because like all the movies have like their flaws and their stuff, but the more I think about it, the more I really kind of did enjoy The Last Jedi as a Star Wars movie.
Maybe you just need to watch it again.
Want to remind me how bad it was?
Yeah.
I will say this. I mean, of course, staying out of spoiler territory, but...
Spoiler-tory.
Spoiler-tory. That's actually a good word for it.
That is a good word.
Staying out of that, I feel like after watching Episode 9, I kind of enjoy The Last Jedi more. I mean, I haven't seen it since I've seen Episode 9, but looking back on it, I can kind of do that.
And I feel like 9 was kind of like, in a way, sloppily put together to fix what
it has its moments, but
because it was sloppily put together to fix what The Last Jedi kind of broke.
Yeah, I think that Episode 9 did well for the situation it was in. Was it a bad movie? Yes.
Yeah. It was a bad movie, and it was a decent Star Wars story.
Yeah.
But there was so much crammed into 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean,
especially the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to stop talking beyond that. But the first 20 minutes, there's so much shit.
it's
And that's very loosely explained.
you could make like 2 movies out of the first.
You
20
really
minutes.
could.
Yeah, I want to go to Mandalorian now. You want to go back to the Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah, we are. Oh, yeah.
I thought that was just a general Star Wars topic.
No, I specifically brought up the Mandalorian.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we kind of went off.
Baby Yoda. That's all I'm going to say.
He's cute.
Honestly, yes.
I enjoy him.
I like how it's not actually Yoda, but we don't know what the name of the species is, so we just call
Yeah.
it Baby Yoda.
I hope they never say it.
I really hope they don't.
I hope
have
they
it.
never say it too.
It's come to the point where we haven't known for the
It's-
last 40
It doesn't
years.
help. It
It's
doesn't
the
help
one
us.
mystery Star Wars still has, and I
Let's
want to
keep
keep
it
it that way.
Yeah, when you have something that's a mystery for 40 years, we don't need to know.
It's cool that there's a third one in existence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one before.
Technically 4th, if you count the Old Republic.
Well, but that... Nah, yeah, I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wouldn't that technically be 5 then? Because there was one in KOTOR.
There was?
Yeah,
I
at
didn't
the end of
play
KOTOR.
I
I've never played KOTOR, but I've seen pictures of it.
Didn't know that.
So I know that Baby Yoda is like there's CG parts, but there's also puppeteering
Yes.
in it.
Yeah.
There was originally not going to be a puppet, but then someone made them do it. I don't remember who, but someone said,
I
we're
think
missing out on something by not having a puppet. And they
I
made a
think
puppet,
I think that was a good choice because
was.
that
It
actually
was.
that calls back to like old Yoda,
which is good because that's one of the things I think the Last Jedi did really well.
Yeah,
Going back
Puppet
to-
Yoda.
going back to
Yeah,
that,
I thought
having
that was
Puppet
great.
Yoda.
I was so happy to see that.
Which I still am ashamed to admit that the first time I saw The Last Jedi, I thought Yoda was CG.
Yeah.
You're just so used to
Well,
CG.
at first he looks CG.
He does.
I think it's because of the lighting.
It's because the way the puppet looks is a Force ghost.
For me, it's less about. It was more just the way he was moving. I was like, that's a puppet. Nice.
Well, I picked up on it later as after I thought about it, but like my first thought was like, that's CG.
That would be a very strange movement for a CG character then.
Yeah.
If they were trying to replicate it, I would have been like, just use a normal puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I like about what I've noticed most about the Disney stuff that's come out lately is I like the stuff the most that doesn't have to do with like the Force and that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I really liked Rogue One, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed Solo.
I think
Solo was
Solo didn't deserve the hate it got.
yeah, it was because of The Last Jedi. I
Yeah.
think. But
It
like,
absolutely was.
I feel like anytime they've done something with the Force, it's just kind of been confusing.
Because I stand by the fact that Disney doesn't understand how the Force works.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or lightsabers.
Han Solo's line in The Force Awakens sums up Disney, right?
It really does. They don't understand how the Force works or lightsabers work.
Yeah.
Because out of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, there was no satisfying lightsaber duel.
Dude, The Last Jedi, I fucking was done after I saw Leia when she got knocked out of the ship.
That was.
That was the...
I don't know. I still don't know what I think about that. Like,
I hate
No,
it. I hate it so much.
But I can accept that more compared to other things because in Legends she did get Jedi training.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, Legends is canon, right?
No.
Okay, no, never mind.
So it can make sense because they are pulling things from Legends and reinserting it back into canon.
Okay.
Legends is the old canon.
I'm fine if Leia started using like force powers, but that was literally the worst time for that to happen.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Because you know how much better.
And they blew a back bar.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't even in the movie and he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know
But
how
his
much better
son,
the movie would have been?
Akbar's son is in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes,
now.
he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know how much better it would have been if Leia died right then and there? Because I
it-
think that would have been fucking perfect.
It would have been a better.
I think that
It would
like,
have been a good way to handle Carrie Fisher's death.
and it would have
She
been.
wasn't. She hadn't.
She hadn't died in real life at that point yet, but between the wrapping of the film and the release of it, she did die.
Yeah.
My
so
thoughts
you
is
can't
that
really change it
my
at that
thoughts is
point.
that would have been a very good thing for Kylo Ren's character to realize that he didn't have the strength to kill her, and then someone else took care of it, and that has to be a weight he has to carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting too close to the Rise of Skywalker.
I like how we
Spoilers, have
keep
to
going.
stop.
We keep
Yeah.
talking about the Mandalorian, and we just go out of.
If we talk about something in the Mandalorian that eventually branches off, we can connect it to that, and then we go off on something.
You're
else
talking
after.
to two halves of a Star Wars encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Wait. Two halves implies that you guys don't know the same things.
We don't.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that both of us like.
Like I have a higher knowledge understanding rate of like the Old Republic than you do.
I know a lot of details about like the Skywalker saga,
And I would say you know more stuff, say per se Legends,
I know.
post
I
Return
would,
of the Jedi.
I would say I know more
Because
like,
I know some stuff post Return of the Jedi Legends, but you know way more than I do, and I know a lot about the Old Republic legends.
Yeah. I would say that.
But we share equal amount of knowledge on, like, the movies and shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that there needs to be more stuff that they have, like, before the prequels, but, like, not long before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when does
like,
The Mandalorian take place?
6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 or 6?
I think it's 5.
5. After Return
matter.
of the Jedi. That's all that matters.
Okay.
Because they... No.
Wait, so it's Mandalorian's all new characters?
What?
Is Mandalorian all new characters?
Yes.
Has there even been a return character?
No.
Wow.
No, there has not. All new characters.
Nice.
Well, not counting faceless stormtroopers.
Okay.
Because...
That doesn't... I mean, like...
But,
that
like,
doesn't
named
count.
characters, no. There's been no returning characters.
Okay.
There have been interesting callbacks.
Yes, there have
Like, this isn't a spoiler at all. Jon Favreau's cameo in The Mandalorian. He is a Mandalorian from Clan Vizsla.
Mm-hmm.
But Jon Favreau also voiced Pre-Vizsla from the Clone Wars, which I didn't know until I learned about his cameo in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. And, like, how the blacksmith's helmet is, like, this kind of similar to Sabine's. Have you noticed that?
I did, yeah.
How it's, like, kind of more circular islets, but...
Okay. So I have no idea what's going on with The Mandalorian outside of that it's a really good Star Wars show. What's the plot of this?
There really isn't one.
Oh, is it-
there is.
Well, there is, but it's very kind of loosely followed.
It's kind of just, like, a general plot.
It's kind of like just like an adventure with no real goal.
Okay.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
So pretty much, it starts out in the first episode. Spoilers for those who haven't seen the first episode.
mean, it's been out for like a
If
month.
it's
Yeah.
first episode spoilers, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty
season
much.
finale. Was
Actually,
this
no, that's
week.
not true because I forgot the Promised Neverland is a thing, and that's a big spoiler there that should not be spoiled.
Well,
Alright.
there really are no spoilers until the last 2 episodes of the
Yeah,
show.
like pretty much.
so minor spoilers.
The only
Yeah, it's
spoiler
very
from
minor.
the episode 1 would be Baby Yoda, and that's everywhere.
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
knows about it. But like, the Mandalorian gets his bounty contract because he's a bounty hunter, as a lot of Mandalorians are.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a contract. He really wants a big payout, and he goes to the guy and he says, "Well, I have this one that I can help you out with." And it's from the Empire, which at this point is the Empire gone? I'm not really sure because he says the Empire.
It's a bunch of local warlords at this point, because
That's
that's what he is. The guy is at this point.
Okay.
Not to say any names, because I think that's technically a spoiler.
I
Okay.
don't know.
That's fair.
But
I don't
pretty
know if it
much,
is or not.
He gets the contract from him, and it turns and
It sends him off to another planet where he meets this Ugnaught.
yeah, it was a little pig man, kind of.
Yeah,
That's what a Ugnaught is.
they're disgusting creatures.
He's actually pretty cool though,
This one's cool, but
Yeah.
most of them speak in disgusting
and he
languages.
has spoken.
Yes, he has many times.
So he learns to ride a blurg, which is the best name for a
Blurgs
creature.
are awesome.
Yes, and I found out how expensive is it to buy a pack of blurgs that I determined.
A lot. I don't remember the
I
exact.
don't know. I can look it up in a little bit. But pretty much he rides one to like this little town thing where there's also a bounty hunter droid that is on the same bounty as him. He doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. It just says retrieve the package from this place. And the little thing that he has will tell him like where the package is.
It's like a tracking fob, is what they called it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so pretty much they go in there, pretty much wipe out everyone in the city because they're protecting this package.
You didn't specify that this droid is an IG unit.
Well, I don't think that really matters.
It doesn't, but it's cool.
That's it's a bounty hunter droid. But yeah, it's a pretty cool droid. They wiped out everyone in the town. And apparently the droid had been sent there to destroy it.
Yes. Because he would not take it back alive.
Yeah. So they get there, and the package is the Baby Yoda. And the droid is about to shoot it, but Mando shoots the droid and pretty much takes the baby. And pretty much the whole season has been
The misadventures of the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
pretty much.
Yeah, basically, like keeping other hunters away from him while trying to survive in a galaxy.
Okay. That's actually sounds very fun.
It is. It's only 8 episodes long, but the shortest episode I think is only 38 minutes, and the longest, which was the season finale, was almost 50 minutes.
Okay.
So,
That sounds binge.
and might I
Sounds
add
like
that
sounds like
some of
something
my
with-
favorite episodes were directed by the person who's going to be in charge of the Kenobi show.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's happening.
So,
It's gonna be so rad. More sassy Kenobi is always welcome.
there's no such thing as too much Kenobi.
Exactly.
Can't find the price of that thing.
What are you doing, best friend? What are you doing?
Just
I'm gonna clean you.
No. Don't lick my cat, Aiden.
Don't be gross.
What? Blake loves it.
Do I want to talk about something we've all seen or something that only I've seen? I guess since we're on the topic of Star Wars, I can talk about episodes 1 and 2.
Yes.
So, our initial plan, which kind of fell apart because me and you got super fucking busy.
My school schedule just got stupid.
Yeah, same. So, the original plan was to watch the entirety of Star Wars until Rise of Skywalker.
Because this man has never seen it.
Never actually seen like a full episode of Star Wars.
Which is weird because he's friends with us.
Yeah. I don't know how we didn't do this sooner.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't do it sooner. We had a perfect excuse, but then we got too busy, so we couldn't follow through with it. So we've only watched episodes 1 and 2 and a decent portion of Clone Wars?
No.
Okay, no.
A decent portion of season 1.
I'd say maybe like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Of a
season
six-season show.
And we watched some of Clone Wars, but mostly 1 and 2.
And we haven't even got to the good stuff yet.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff. But
Well,
Not
got
the
some-
good stuff.
Not
though.
the good stuff.
did we watch...
We got to good stuff, but there's the good stuff.
Did we watch Hisoka... We watched Hisoka versus Grievous, right?
In the 2 seconds that it was, yes.
Okay.
Didn't we skip those episodes because it was bad?
We skipped a good portion of it.
I think we only watched the Grievous fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Because those episodes weren't great.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Because I'll say this with the Clone Wars, in like the first couple their first like season or 2, it's not the greatest. They have their
alright.
moments.
It's still fun. I think it's pretty still fun, though. I think it's still kind of
we
fun.
don't talk about the Jar Jar episodes.
Oh,
No.
God. No.
And Rebels is going to have a few of those, not Jar Jar specifically, but it's going to have some very much Disney episodes that we will skip.
Very much episodes that are like, why does this episode exist?
Okay.
Like, it
Space
should-
Whales.
Like, it eventually justifies, and I say it justifies with quotes, it eventually justifies them by putting something from an episode into another one in the future. But I don't really, the episode has no point of existing.
Yeah, it really has no reason to exist.
Like-
except for the fact to say, hey, you've seen that before.
Well, it's kind of just like there's an episode, and then like this thing from a previous episode shows up. They're like, "Hey, thank you," and then all of a sudden that thing never appears again.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
it was kind of like that episode just existed to have like 2 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Like
It was like that was very much a Disney filler episode. Because it's all about, oh, we have to go save the animals.
there was a few episodes like that.
Yeah.
So, like,
So we will skip those.
yes.
So anyways,
Besides that, I think we'll watch the entirety of Rebels.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then back to episodes 1 and 2. I think it was interesting to sort of like watch it and then kind of piece together things that were just like, oh, so that's why that's called that, or that's why that happened. My favorite moment was watching and then realizing why the Empire is called the Empire and why the main characters are the Rebels. Like realizing why that was that.
You didn't get that?
I figured it out like after we watched was it 1 I think it was either 1 or 2. I was like, and I think it was 1. I was like, oh. So kind of like gradually learning about like the things that I've been missing out on has always been fun.
Because you know bits and pieces from knowing us.
I basically
that
know.
week forced you to play Battlefront 2 with us.
Yeah, so I know bits and pieces of Star Wars.
I don't know
but never
how many
actually, like,
major spoilers you would know about like movies.
Which is an interesting thing, because I'm starting to think we were watching them in the wrong order. We should have started with the original trilogy, so some of the things in the original trilogy would make sense from the prequels.
Okay, so you think we should have watched it and then like.
We should have started with A New Hope.
Okay.
For one big thing that I don't know if he knows or not, which would kind of be ruined by Revenge of the Sith.
I'm trying to think. But
We can change the order to watch it if need
Nah,
be.
we've already
Well,
started.
yeah,
we might
we've
as well
already
just
started.
keep going.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Because I don't know if you know it or not, and I'm not going to say it just in case.
Okay.
Because it's a connection between 3 and 5.
Is it like a big like? Is
The
it
big,
like,
it's the big
oh,
thing of
the
5.
big thing. Okay.
The big thing.
I feel like there's a good chance he knows
He
this.
probably does, but I
But
don't
we-
want
yeah,
to
I
risk
don't wanna
it.
say.
No,
So that's
because-
why I would say we should have started with A New Hope and then went back to the
Yeah,
prequels.
I have not a single idea what you're talking about, so I think.
So
it's
he does not know
Okay.
what we're talking about.
It's also possible he doesn't know.
Or maybe
That-
like I know
yeah,
it, but I just
you
not
don't know
picking
that's
it up.
the big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. What's interesting about like
Actually, now that you say that, we should have.
We really should have.
yeah, I think what's interesting about obviously watching the prequels is that because this is at a time where like the visual effects are more advanced than what's the
A lot of those like visual effects and stuff were created by Lucas for Star Wars. which was interesting because like the movie industry as a whole benefited from the prequels, no matter how bad people say the prequels were.
I don't even think they're honestly that bad, but then again,
we don't think they're bad because
They're
that's
not.
what we grew up with.
yeah, I think they have worth, but I can see why some. I don't know.
There's a lot of like little tiny details in it.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of little details that like are easy to nitpick.
The thing is that like even episode 2, which is the worst, as you guys call it, it has
that is
its
universally
moments.
the worst.
Yeah, it has its moments though. Like I said before, like the scene like near the end where the clones are like fighting within like the like dust cloud or whatever,
Yeah,
like the
that's
dust
a pretty
storm.
good
That's fucking looks amazing.
Because people hate the prequels for how much CG they use.
It's not bad.
It's
not
not that bad, but that entire scene you're talking about was entirely CG.
Yeah, the thing about
And it's so good.
the thing about episode 2 is that it has some of the best, but also the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like if
The fucking pear scene.
If Attack of the Clones never,
That one we make fun of all the time.
because it phases through her fucking head.
It doesn't like, she doesn't even fucking like bite it. It just
She
kind of like,
opens her mouth and it phases through her.
she slurps it in. He's just like,
As much shit as we give Attack the Clones, the Clone Wars show that we praise so highly would have existed.
Yeah. Another thing with the CG, when they're walking into the droid factory, Anakin's head goes right through the door.
Oh yeah, it does. He bends down, but he didn't bend down enough.
No, that door's like probably a solid like 5 feet tall, and he gets about 5.5 feet there.
dude, his scalp's gone.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I have no memory of us watching that?
Really?
I do not remember
Maybe
anything.
you had just worked like a super early shift. So.
I
Yeah,
think
you
I
were
did,
super
but
tired
I
that day, I remember
remembered
that.
watching the Phantom Menace and the Clone Wars, but I don't remember
we watched the
anything.
Clone Wars a different day.
Well, yeah, but I remember the Phantom Menace, but I don't remember anything we said about. Well, I remember watching it, but not the things we said about it.
I just remember, I think really the only thing that we could say about it was that it had some of the best, but also some of the worst moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything, but every like romantic part is.
Oh my fucking god. Anakin is such a creep, and it worked.
One thing I do think, I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but it did a good job of showing that Anakin has no idea what he's doing when it comes
Oh my fucking god. He doesn't know romance. I was like,
Well, I mean, he's a slave boy from Tatooine.
and a Jedi who aren't allowed to love.
okay,
So,
okay,
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But still, this is kind of a spoiler for the Clone Wars, which you've probably seen it. Kenobi had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But
I mean,
well,
it's not-
It's not a spoiler, but even Kenobi had one.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised Kenobi has it.
He almost left the Jedi Order for that woman.
Yeah.
Which I would have been fine with if he did.
Fuck all these goddamn space powers. I'm trying to get space pussy. He almost did it.
Almost.
Almost did it.
Almost.
He almost threw away everything for space cooch.
And he should have.
He should have.
Because he would have lived a happy life until the Clone Wars started.
But seriously, now that you bring that up with like the order we watch it, I actually don't think it would be a bad idea to get through the Clone Wars, watch
the original trilogy, then come back to Revenge
Yeah.
of the Sith.
I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
It's not. Well, there are things I've seen online of like recommended viewing orders. It's the original trilogy, 3, the new trilogy. Just skip 1 and 2 entirely.
I feel like that's just someone saying like, "Oh, the first ones are bad. Don't watch them."
I mean, really, you're not missing like a ton
No.
by skipping it, but it's also nice to watch them.
I think
along
if
with
they
it.
have their moments. I think
Yeah.
they're worthwhile.
Because Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That
People-
that's like half of the goodness of that movie.
Even though people hate the prequels, the duel between Maul, Kenobi, and Qui-Gon is universally regarded as the best duel ever.
Yeah, the choreography for that's so fucking good.
Apparently, they were going so fast in that duel that they actually had to slow it down because it would be too believable. It would be people wouldn't believe that they actually like did that. they just had it as it was.
So did they, like, the people slow down themselves, or did they, like, slow the video?
I don't know.
It got slowed down. But it would have been so cool if it was super fast though, because
Yeah.
Mostly just 'cause-
it actually still is super
It really
fast.
is fast.
Like,
yeah, mostly because of the fact that mostly just because like the fight between Qui-Gon and Maul. Also, I'm still...
If you think that's fast, wait till the Anakin versus Obi-Wan fight.
Oh boy.
God, that's gonna be fucking...
Which is, I think, is still the longest sword fight in film history.
It is. It's the longest sword fight in film history.
It's my favorite.
And I heard it's also the best fight in all of Star Wars.
It
well.
is.
It's
It
pretty
would
close
have
to
been
it.
superseded by a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith.
Interesting.
I'm trying to remember that.
It's where on Utapau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. You were the first person I told about
Yeah.
that.
That one's not even a lightsaber duel though.
No, it's not. But it would have been. They said the way they described it would have been the best duel in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense because it's Kenobi versus a bunch of fucking droids
Yeah.
with sticks,
Yeah.
electric sticks.
Yeah.
Dude, electric sticks are cool.
They are.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see more of Star Wars.
Yes.
Not even just like because of Rise of Skywalker, just because like getting to see the old stuff and be like,
Honestly,
oh.
I'm thinking at this point, maybe we just wait and take our time with it for the Rise of Skywalker to hit Disney Plus. Unless you want to see the Rise of Skywalker
I'd like to see it as soon as possible.
So okay,
Want to watch Star Wars Tuesday?
Sure.
Either Rise of Skywalker or at my house.
I can do that.
Sure.
Either one works.
Yeah, I can. I'm down.
Alright, so yeah, that's Star Wars. Who's next?
I would just talk
That's
about
all I
Star
had.
Wars.
That's just Parasite, Star Wars.
Star Wars. I would just talk about
How about one from me, one from you?
my other thing would be Ruby.
Alright, go ahead.
No, you do your thing first.
Shit, what do I want to talk about? There's a lot of really good things I want to talk about, but I have to pick one, so... Let's go Rise of Shield Hero. So
No clue what that is.
So
Well,
this
it's a
is
shield hero that rises.
Ah, I
Yeah,
see. Now I'm
easily.
interested.
It's like the Rise of Skywalker, but with a shield hero.
yeah,
Ah.
with the hero.
So it's gonna be bad then.
No. Someone on Twitter that I read said like this was the most slept on anime of this year, and that is absolutely right. The only reason I watched it was because I was running out of anime to watch, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll give Shield Hero a chance.
That is totally something I 100% believe with you. Is that
Yeah.
you're out of anime. You need to find more.
It's gotten to the point where there's only one anime on my Crunchyroll queue because the stuff that I've been watching is now ending, and now I just have fucking My Hero Academia.
I think I added one thing to your queue that I never started.
Yeah, you never watched shit yet.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of my New Year's resolutions. Watch more anime.
Yeah. Alright, so The Rising of Shield Hero. This was an early 2019 anime that came from the studio that made in Abyss, which I've talked about before. And then a bunch of other stuff that you guys probably don't know about, and only one of these I actually heard of. Mm-hmm. So, this is definitely the most slept on anime because it is so good, but like, not many people have talked about it outside of the fact that it's good, or at least that's not what I've heard about it. So the plot is, it's another isekai where it's just like people get transported to another world, which I've never seen that plot before at all. So it's 4 people from different dimensions, which turn out to be alternate versions of Japan. They're all transported to a parallel world in order to become the 4 cardinal heroes, one with a sword, one with a spear, one with a bow, and one with a shield. And they're meant to basically save the world from something called waves, which is waves of monsters.
Of course,
Very
how
creative.
original.
Yeah.
It's
so
like a wave defense game,
Yeah.
but anime.
So our main character is named Naofume, who is the shield hero. And he comes from a version of Japan, so the world that they get transported to is based on a game that, it's a different game for each of the other heroes, but it's still sort of the same concepts. But Naofumi comes from a Japan that doesn't have this game, so he comes to an alternate world that he has no idea about it, while the other heroes know basically everything. And the story is basically just Naofumi starting from absolute scratch. So here's the thing. He's one of the heroes, so he's very important to not just the world, but the plot. And people just don't give a shit about him, and he doesn't know why. And he thinks that's just because, like, people have heard that he doesn't know anything about the world, so they don't want to deal with him like that. So he basically is given the short end of the stick from the very beginning. But he has the motivation to want to basically be just as important as the other heroes, because not necessarily because he thinks he deserves it, but because he's like, I have to save the world anyway, so I'm still gonna fucking be cool and all. So he starts. Actually, do I want to spoil the first episode?
I don't know, do you?
It's first episode.
True, but it also is a very good hook that I think I should not spoil.
Oh.
But I'll say that he starts from complete scratch, and without spoiling anything, basically he has no information of the world. no allies, no equipment, no experience, and he's given a shitty reputation. There we go. Where basically, even in another world, a man can have his worst fear happen, which is to be allegedly a rapist. And be an alleged rapist, and then everyone just believes that. And then he's shat on by everyone, so he has to start from literally complete scratch.
For a second, I thought you meant literally shat on by everyone.
He is literally shat on people. You see fucking monkeys in zoos throwing shit at people, that happens to him.
But it's people.
But it's people shit this time. So it kind of just it goes from there as like he tries to basically work his way up, because at the end of the day, despite what people think of him, he is still a hero and he still has the job to protect the world from these waves. Even if he is at the disadvantage that all he has is a shield and he can't use any other weapon. Just all the other heroes, they can't use any weapon except for the one that they were given when they first were transported to this world.
So they can't even like punch and kick this shit?
They can punch and kick, but like they have
actually using like a physical weapon.
Yeah, like the sword hero has a sword and no other weapon. The spear
can't pick up like a rusty pipe.
No, if they try to pick up a weapon that's not the one that they were given when they initially came in, they'll get zapped, and then
if it's not technically considered a weapon.
If they're going
to use it as a weapon,
it's not going to be effective then. It's not going to do shit then, because these are still monsters that they have to fight.
Yeah.
Like if you punch him, then like he can punch like monsters, but that's not going to do much except for like super low level monsters. But I digress. So it's him just sort of going from this literally the worst position that you can possibly be in and trying to find his way to get experience so that he can first of all be capable of fighting monsters, especially with the fact that he has a shield and only a shield. Which
so he's Captain America.
But like he can't fucking do much else with that.
Yeah.
Captain America, but imagine like if Steve Rogers didn't actually have his super juice, as I like to call it. So basically we just kind of get introduced to all these different characters, and he just slowly builds up from where he was, and then it goes from like it's less about like the actual saving of the world, but more following the characters of this show, especially Naofumi and his party that he gains, and sort of the events in the story that kind of happen. Like for I guess pretty much the entirety of the show, it's just him like from just like all these different like episodic stories of like, oh, he goes to this village and there's this happening, and then he goes to this village and then this is happening, or he needs to do this, so he does that for the whole episode. And that just kind of builds up and eventually like slowly gets him to not just understand the world, but sort of gain all these skills that would not only just help him with the fighting of the waves, but also sort of being able to do things like get money and travel, get stacks to get money to be able to travel around, to be able to make equipment and medicine and stuff like that, and sort of working off of his strong suits. And once we get to learn all the different, like, get to experience all these different characters, the show is just so much fun, and you get the good sense of like what each character is and like what you think about them, and some of them are super obvious. Like the character, actually I guess it's not too bad to mention, but the character Mine, who's the princess of the king of the castle that he was summoned in, she's basically, so she's the reason why Naofumi is in this situation, why he had to start from the from absolute scratch. And I've never hated a character so much because not only is she just a terrible person, but she's also the most condescending piece of shit that I've ever seen. And her father is just as bad. And then you have the other heroes, which is the spear hero, Motoyasu, who he's also a fucking shit person. I hate him as well, but he gets vibe checked pretty often.
I feel like this is a common theme.
Kinda.
Just bad people.
Kinda.
You say spear hero, and the only thing I can think of is Spearow.
Spearow. Yeah.
He is a Spearow.
He's also really fucking annoying and shitty, but he gets like shat on often enough that you're fine with it. And the other two heroes, Ren and Itsuki, they're not as bad, but they are kind of shit in the fact that, like, oh, we'll believe that Naofumi did these terrible things, but then he proves that he's actually kind of a good person, and they believe him for a little bit. But then someone will say that he did this other shitty thing, and then they automatically think, like, oh, he's a bad person again, and they treat him as such. And I'm just like, you've seen that he is a good dude, and you still believe this shit. So they're kind of just like, they're less like bad characters, but more really frustrating characters. But then you do have, like, Naofumi's party, like Raftalia, who is a slave girl that basically, well, since Naofumi isn't trusted by anyone, he had to basically go get a slave to be his party member. And he treats her really good, actually. And she becomes she is very much best girl material.
Oh, I love best girl.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they are. If they're best girl, I love them.
And kind of the
you
show.
Just told their best girl and you love them.
Well, I mean, that's what happened with Houseplant. I believed it, and I still do.
I don't know. I think Igor might be the best player. So
He's
yeah,
pretty charming.
yeah. So she's very fun, and then kind of the show definitely explores her and Naofumi's relationship a lot, which is very compelling and fun to watch. You also have Philo, who is like a, for lack of a better way of describing it, she's a bird girl.
Okay.
So she's basically like a giant bird that is used as like their means of like traveling, but she has a human form where she has like her wings on her back, so she looks like an angel.
Interesting.
Yeah, her design.
Reason God of War.
Yeah, her design and her character is super fucking generic, but she's just cute enough to be enduring. And this, I guess, there's not much more to say outside of this show. Just sort of, kind of goes off their relationship, just builds these characters into better people, like stronger characters, and then explores their sort of misadventures as they have to figure out how to get better at being in this world. And then you just go for that for a long time, and that's it. That's the show. It's very fun. It's very interesting, and the narrative and the sort of seeing how the show is so willing to throw its main character into just the terrible pits of despair is fucking great. Because one thing I hate when it comes to like watching, especially isekai like these, is that usually they'll be like, oh, there's the main character and he's super overpowered and everyone loves him. But this one is like, he keeps just getting fucked over it.
What have you done?
I joined a Discord server, I'm sorry.
But with this show, it's just like, it's kind of like another show I watched that I won't talk about, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, where it's just like, it's just going to it's just going to hurt this character all the time at every corner, and it just sucks to see. And it's just, you just hate to see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
it kind of reminds me of just the beginning of Persona 5, where everyone is like, oh, you're a criminal and all that kind of stuff, and literally everyone hates you.
Yeah, but basically that's like the entire show.
Oh, really?
But then eventually, like, it just sort of goes from being literally the worst person in everyone else's eyes into someone who is very much a good person, a very capable person, and someone that you can rely on. So watching that sort of build is very fun to watch, and I don't know if I can say much else outside of that.
Ignore that.
No. So it's hard to, like, I guess now I see why people kind of slept on this, because it's really hard to sort of say why this show is so great outside of just like the sort of premise of it. So, but I still think that this is something worth watching, especially given that if you need new anime to watch that will last you a little while, this is definitely one thing up there. So, Rising of Shield Hero is... I wouldn't say it's one of the best of... Actually, I think it's fair to say it's one of the best of this year of anime. I don't know if I would say it's the best, but it's definitely something that...
It's the best of all time.
It's something that's worth noting.
It's the best of all notes.
I mean, I don't watch anime, but one thing I do appreciate about it is it does some out there stuff, like stuff that like I would never like. That's nothing like I've ever heard about before. Yeah, like
it's an interesting way of approaching a very generic plot that's seen way too often.
Yeah, like
it uses it to make a very compelling story.
Yeah, like it's all kinds of. Just like I feel like any time I hear of like a new anime like everyone's talking about. Like, it's something that's kind of like crazy. Like, not like crazy, but like it's something so unique.
Yeah,
like,
that's definitely the show where it's doing something unique. Because whenever I see a show that's willing to just like just fuck their characters so much, that's how you know it's a good show. If it's willing to make their character like genuinely think that their life is over and like everything that they have worked for has been taken away from them in an instant, that's how you know it's a good show. So, if someone tells you to watch Rising of Shield Hero,
Stop it!
stop fucking God!
What are you doing that?
Why are you such shit at this game?
Don't talk to me.
Come on, I'm doing better than you.
I'm trying to do behind the scenes shit.
Grant is doing better than you, and this is his first day.
I
haven't had any sort of notification go off.
I'm sorry that I'm trying to rebrand our group during the middle of the podcast.
Why during?
Because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget to do it.
You can rebrand yourself on the street because you're fired.
I'm replacing
You can't fire me.
Yeah.
This is my project.
So yeah, Shield Hero is pretty good. Watch it. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Whom's this starting?
I don't even know what I have in there.
How long have we been going?
A while.
That's what happens when you add a third person.
Yeah. How long have you been going for, actually?
Very.
An hour and 40... an hour 50.
That's not awful.
It's longer than I thought we would for 3 people, because I thought we were going to be capping at 2 hours. But we spent a long time in games.
I mean...
Well, and all of us have been playing unique or different stuff. That's
Yeah.
what
But
happened.
even when I edit it, it's always like at least like around like 10 minutes gone.
Yeah,
Probably
there's
more
like
so than
there's
this.
dead air stuff that we should just cut. In
Probably
general.
more so than this, since there's a lot of just like going off topic, but we'll see. It's,
I don't know. I think we should keep that.
Yeah.
I mean, all of what we've said have been pretty good.
Oh no, man, I'm doing pretty good.
Like this conversation right now, this is gonna get cut.
Yeah.
But now that I've said it,
No, we are keeping it in.
now that I've
Fuck,
said it,
why
it's
did you
not gonna
say
get
that? Now I have
cut.
to keep it in
Put
here.
it in the bloopers.
There we go.
We can cut it from the main, put it in the bloopers.
Alright.
When are we gonna get the first bloopers out? Should we do that by episode 10?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is episode 6. So we have 4 episodes to do it.
So you're just gonna make like a giant compilation of bloopers from all
Yeah.
of those?
Yeah.
Not
Cause, I
bad.
mean, because we cut out enough stuff and record pre and post show that we have enough to do like a blooper reel like every 10 episodes or so.
Yeah. All right.
And we didn't start recording bloopers until like episode 5.
Oh.
All right.
4
Hey,
or 5.
I feel like there's a
Give
lot
me
of stuff you could put in the
give me a first patch note.
Patch note.
Come on, man, it's supposed to be quick.
I have a lot, and I'm not going to use most of them. Warcraft 3 Reforged. Do you even know what that is?
No.
You know the World of Warcraft.
No. Yeah.
That's basically the game that came before World of Warcraft.
Oh, really?
It's an RTS.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And they're remastering it, and it's going to come out on the 28th of January. So less than a month from now.
So
When is this announced?
It was announced at BlizzCon last year.
so WoW Classic Electric Boogaloo then?
Basically, and speaking of WoW Classic, that's doing really fucking well.
Really?
Yeah, it's got more active players than retail WoW.
I've been
is weird.
meaning to try it since you said that. Like
If you try it,
like that.
I'll play with you, and so will Tyler.
Okay.
Because it's fun. You will technically need to pay for a WoW subscription for it. But the WoW subscription gets you both WoW Classic and normal WoW.
True.
So because they totally could have tacked on like another $20 for the Classic subscription, but they didn't.
Okay.
So I'm kind of happy they didn't because I don't think I could afford both. Not that I really play Classic that much because I don't have anyone to play with really, and it's better with friends.
Do you have enough money for any subscription? Because you said like you want to
Yes.
get Crunchyroll, but like you
Well,
didn't
I have-
because
well-
it costs money.
Well, I mean, how often am I going to use Crunchyroll though? That's my reason.
That's the thing. That's my thing with a lot of services. I'm like, this service looks cool. When am I gonna use it?
That's my thing because I'm not going to use it as much as you do.
You have someone that has a huge list of anime on that service that they can throw at you.
Yeah, I know. I have multiple people who can do that.
Okay, we need to break down that sentence right there. What on
did you
earth
just
were you just trying to say?
I have multiple people who can do that.
Okay.
You almost messed it up again.
Because I have you, I have Kevin, and I have Wes. That's multiple people.
There.
Not the point. I wouldn't use it as much as you would.
Understandable.
But
This was a weird detour.
But then,
This was, like, really
but then
weird,
bouncing off of that, I have RT first because I get most of my entertainment from Rooster Teeth.
That's like $3.
Oh yeah, this is my fucking.
And it's like $10 now.
Wait, seriously?
They raised it.
Of course they did.
This used to be so cheap.
Yeah. Then they got acquired by Warner Brothers.
Ah, why do they keep getting acquired?
Well, they've been with Warner Brothers for a while.
Oh, that's true.
How do you think they got the whole Batman merch deal?
Yeah.
All right, so is that all for WoW then?
Basically, I mean, the whole thing of Warcraft 3 Reforged is it's not a remaster. It's not a remaster, but it's not a remake. So they're not calling it either, because it's a remaster, but they're adding a little stuff on top of it, but not enough for it to be a remake.
So it's basically just they're redoing that whole thing,
No,
or like
because it's
redoing.
the same game, but it looks better. But there's new stuff on it, but not a new stuff to be a remake. If that makes sense. Because the original plan was to edit the original campaign to highlight characters from Warcraft 3 that are prevalent in WoW lore now. Mm-hmm. They didn't have enough time to do that, so it's just going to be the original campaign. But they're adding things like hero skins, new maps.
So so just tweaking it enough for it to be fresh, but not tweaking enough for it to be considered a completely new thing.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because like, one of the things I can think of is like the hero classes. They're adding female options as a hero class.
Oh!
So you better expect that I'm going to play with tits every game now.
Oh hell yeah!
Especially the Death Knight, because who doesn't want a dead woman?
There are many things wrong with that.
Yeah, there were.
There are many things that are wrong with what you just said.
I say a lot of things. I played Cards Against Humanity last night.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Well, yeah.
Which we're bringing to New Year's. I hope you guys are excited for that.
definitely.
I mean, New Year's is Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh fuck, that's close.
Yeah, it is.
The decade's almost over, friends. Fuck.
This episode's not going to be out by the end of the decade.
No!
Not unless you bust your
We're a
ass.
decade late.
I'll see you next year. Oh man.
Yeah, that's basically all I have for that one, anyways.
I got two quick ones that we can do before the really big one. Mm-hmm. So, mostly just because they're actually, one's not too old, but one is really old, but we never got to talk about it.
Terry
and Bogard's in Smash.
He's good.
He's fucking...
I haven't touched Smash since Banjo got added.
That would change.
So Terry is fine. He's a good.
So Terry,
the fuck
I
did
said
you just
before
say?
that
So
no, when he got announced that
probably,
he's,
hopefully.
I think
So
he's
Terry-
fine. I think that's a good choice.
I think my problem with Terry more so isn't the fact that he's fun. I don't know. I haven't played Smash. It's that I don't know who he is.
I heard that it was more to appeal to, like, South America and, like, Latin America and that stuff because he's from the Neo Geo. He's from Fatal Fury, which was on the Neo Geo, and that was really popular in that area. Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of people from that area know who he is.
So you're saying that to appeal to us, they'll add the Master Chief.
I mean, they've already appealed to us by adding, let's see, Banjo.
Yeah.
They can appeal to us more because we're more important.
Okay.
Man, I'm an awful person.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
are.
I think that's a fine reason, but even without that, Terry is in fact a fighting game character who is really popular when it comes to old games, especially given the fact that we have Street Fighter characters in this game.
Yeah.
And he plays really well too.
Yeah.
If you know how to play him, you can wreck shit. So many times I have played level 9 CPU Terry with some of my mains, and I've been not in a good way.
There have been so many times I've been playing. I haven't played him a ton, but just the other day I was going to my grandparents' house who live out of town for Christmas, and I brought my Switch and I was playing as Terry a little bit. And there were so many times where I tried to use his back special and just jump off the stage.
The thing about Terry is that if you suck with him, you really suck at him. But at the same time, you can just pull something out of your ass
Yeah.
from bumfuck nowhere, and it will work.
It's
Because
just
that
so-
happened so many times with the CPU, and I wanted to die.
Like, it's so confusing to me because, like, his back special, like, you can either, like, make the play of the game or just ruin yourself with it because instead of it being like a normal person where both forward and back specials are the same, you'll just do the special in either direction. His forward one, I don't even remember what it is, but his back one, he'll do like this jumping like spin or like flip kick, like in the direction he's facing, not the direction you point.
Yeah.
So there's times where like someone will be behind me. I'm like, okay, I'll just do my side special toward this guy, and I do it pointing the stick in the direction of the guy, but I'm facing off the stage. I'm just like doing like this front flip kick off the side of the stage.
All right, bro, I'm about to head out.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's not easy to get a handle of, but he's can be a fucking monster if you know how to do it.
Yeah, he's
especially
pretty good.
given his go. Also, can we talk about the fact that when the Smash team was like, alright, we're trying to game the music for Terry. They're like, alright, so we got a list of 50 songs that we wanted to potentially have in the game. And we're probably expecting to only get about like 20 if we're lucky. So we're gonna pitch these to the SNK team, and he was like, "All right, here's 50 songs. What songs can we have?" And they just said yes.
Yeah,
So Terry's stage now has 50 songs.
Jesus Christ!
Because SNK just said yes. And the best part is that that's not even me like paraphrasing. That's how Sakurai himself described it. He said that it said yes, and now they have 50 songs.
I mean, why would you keep songs out of something if you're already putting the character in?
It's a copyright thing, so they expect
It's
it to,
harder to do.
They expected to get like 20 if they were lucky, but they got over twice that.
Yeah,
Also, his stage is really fun.
it is. I like it.
It's really interesting. That's why I liked it so much.
I'm glad I should play Smash sometime.
Yeah, I don't know if have you seen his Sakurai explaining how Terry works?
No.
Because his new stage is basically like a walk-off, except the sides are blocked off, and you have to hit him
Like invisible walls.
like an invisible wall. And if you
Interesting,
if you hit him with enough force or hit him enough times on the invisible wall, then the wall breaks and they fly off.
It's
the
almost
map.
like the home run contest. Walls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically like the
Except like super strong.
Okay.
And not when you do one power move, you will launch them off the back of the stage. As Ganondorf, when you're trying to launch him 10 million
God.
miles.
And-
As we have done as you and I did, Kishta, on that time when Aiden decided to skip on Star Wars.
Stop bringing that up. I will fight you.
So yeah,
In
Terry.
Smash.
Terry.
I will smash you.
Yeah. So, anyways, Terry and everything that came with him is very welcome, and I appreciate it. But God, he makes my feelings hurt. Then another quick one, Alyx. Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life's back.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well, it's not 3, but
It's
Half-Life.
Half-Life 1.5.
Half-Life.
And it's in VR.
Yeah. I was so sad to see it was in VR because I was like, yes, a new Half-Life game I can play. And then it was in VR. I'm like, God damn it, I don't have
I
fucking
never
headset.
finished Half-Life 2.
Me neither.
I have not even started Half-Life. There's something wrong with me.
But-
Not really, because we haven't finished it. I mean, Half-Life was kind of before our time as gamers.
That's true.
True.
But
it's one of those.
It's happy to see that Valve is technically making the third game in the series.
It's a third half.
Actually, it's more like the 8th or something
well,
like that.
I'm not
As
counting
far
those
as, like-
episodes
as far
or
as, like,
whatever,
the-
'cause those are like small DLCs.
Yeah, as far as like games and like the actual canon of the story, they're making a third one, despite the fact that it's not Half-Life 3. But
So
even
that's,
still,
that's hope for Left 4 Dead 3 though, or Portal 3.
I don't know about Portal 3.
Probably
because
not.
Because Portal 2's ending kind of just like cut it off there.
But Portal 3 could just be straight co-op though.
I mean, did you see the ending of Portal 1 though?
Yeah, but you got dragged back in, so then it's like okay. I guess
Initially, that wasn't in the game.
was it not? Really?
Yeah, when I first played it, so I bought the first time I ever played Portal 1. It was a version called Portal Still Alive. It was on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, it was in the arcade, wasn't it?
Oh, was that the?
What?
It was in the Xbox arcade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And pretty much what happened is, like you would destroy GLaDOS, and you're just like kind of laying in a parking lot, and it just fade to black.
Oh,
So that's
so the part where you get dragged in wasn't an original thing then.
I think it was added later.
Okay.
But like it is.
So wait, did they add that because they were making Portal 2?
I don't know.
Or did they
I think
add
it's
that
possible.
or did you think they added it for the possibility?
I
That's
want.
even if they didn't do it, that's still something that like everyone's gonna say, "Where the hell is 2?" I think they fully intended to make Portal 2, and that's why they added them. Mm-hmm. That's probably why.
Maybe, who knows?
But that's
I'm
also
not Valve.
that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Anyways. But also, so yeah, Half-Life Alyx in
Is
VR.
it actually being developed by Valve though, not some third party?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even still, the fact that it's VR, I said like the trailer, like the gameplay, and it looks really fucking cool.
I mean, this is Valve, and they have their own headset, so they can do whatever the hell
Yeah,
they want.
so Valve is very good at making games, despite the fact that they have not done so in so long.
What was the last game that they released, not updated?
Artifact.
Never heard of it.
Seriously?
No.
You didn't hear about the dumpster fire that was Artifact?
No.
It was a Dota. So everyone was like, Valve's gonna be releasing, like announcing a new game.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
I
so
remember
awesome.
that.
They were hyping it up so much,
And
and
then
they're
turned
like,
out-
it's Artifact, a Dota card game.
Oh my god, I remember.
Oh, that's probably why I've never heard of it, because I don't give a shit about Dota.
Yeah, no, I heard about it, but I didn't give a shit about Dota. I was like, wow.
It was so bad.
It was the worst.
And seriously, like, players fell off of it immediately. It was like an Anthem situation where people bought it, and then no one played it.
God. How quickly did they kill it as fast as EA killed Anthem?
I think it lasted a little longer, but not a whole lot.
That's surprising.
It
'cause-
did not do well.
Yeah.
When was that? I totally missed that.
Oh, I'll have to look that
I
up.
don't remember. It was pretty recent. I think I want to say it was like last.
What was the last
year.
game before that I've heard of?
It was released November 28th, 2018.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
How did I
that
miss
was
that?
recent.
Jesus.
So, yeah. So now I have even more reason to want to get a fucking VR headset, but I'm sad that I have to get one now.
Artifact saw its concurrent player count drop from 60,000 at launch to just over 1,500 within 2 months of its release.
Oh my
A
god.
95% decline.
Oh my god.
By May 2019, the interest in Artifact was so low that Twitch's category for the game began to be used for streaming pornography and other content and other content that violated the website's terms of service. This prompted Twitch to temporarily suspend new creators from streaming.
Oh,
By
yeah.
July 2019, the game had fewer than 100 concurrent players.
Congratulations, Valve. You wanted to give us a game, you gave us porn instead.
And that's a win in some people's eyes.
But if you're gonna go to porn, why go to Twitch when you have fucking
Well,
websites?
if you're a kid and there's parental blockage.
Good point. Very good point. He gave kids porn, Valve. How do you feel?
A creator stated that he felt Artifact was not successful because there was a review bombed early on, with players upset over the apparent play-to-win mechanics, driving away potential newcomers, and not allowing the game and player economy to become more stable, where the cost of building winning decks would have been on par with other digital games such as Hearthstone. I think it's just because they thought it was going to be something better.
Yeah, they've hyped it up to be something that no one, literally
Imagine waiting for a Valve announcement and it's a card game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not even a new card game.
Yeah.
It's a Dota card game.
Well, I look at that. I can kind of compare that to Hearthstone in a way, because I'm a Warcraft player. Hearthstone is the Warcraft card game.
Yeah.
But Hearthstone's actually good.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it, but it's good. Like, it's so good that, like, I actually have it on my phone and I'll play it sometimes. I would never play a Dota card game.
I'm not a card game person unless it's like physical card games.
The only card games I'll play are Hearthstone, Cards Against Humanity, and the occasional game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have
Bring out your whole arm.
I had one. I had one.
I know that you were into Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have all my cards still,
Nice.
and I still buy some.
That's fair, honestly.
Cause no.
The real question is, you think you're gonna play? You guys have headsets. You think you're gonna play Alyx?
I don't think that we can. That depends.
I
on if
don't
it's
think
being,
my computer could run it.
I think that it depends on if it's being developed for the Windows mixed reality headset. Because not
I
every
doubt
game
it.
is.
Oh yeah, true.
Because
Windows Mixed Reality is kind of just like...
it's kind of like in its own section of VR.
Yeah.
Because like because there are
It's a
games
cheap
that are,
alternative.
Yeah,
that's not
it's
completely
sort of
Yeah.
just like an affordable VR, but the thing
for what we get, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And some games, whether it's developed for the headset or not, it still works. Because I don't think Blade and Sorcery is developed for Windows
I
Mixed
don't
Reality.
think... The
But
problem
it
with,
still works.
So, like, a thing with the Mixed Reality is it has it so you don't have to, like, put cameras up in
Because there's
your room.
cameras built into the headset
Yeah,
to look
but
around.
it's only in the front. So the thing with like Blade and Sorcery, you can put weapons like on your back for a holster,
But it can't detect it because it's behind the camera.
So like there's a small area like when the when your controller's like right here that like it'll detect that you're reaching for the shoulder holster, but like if you go any further back, it will stop or like in front of you, it just won't say that you can pick it up. So
Oh,
it's
So yeah.
Like, because there are some really good things for it. Like, cause with the Windows virtual reality, mixed reality headset specifically, you get Minecraft in VR, and that's really good. Because imagine walking up being eye level with a creeper. It's really good and fun to play.
I would shit myself.
I did the first time too, because you are actually at eye level with it, and you're not like a couple. Like, you're not, like, far away from your screen looking at it on, like, a small screen. It's in your fucking face.
Dude, imagine playing Minecraft VR and you're just mining casually and you just hear a creeper right behind you. Like, not even, like...
Oh, yeah, that's happened to me a few times.
I
but,
would
like,
cry.
that's probably the best VR experience I've had because I have, like, the cheap...
I think that's the closest you'll get to horror games ever, right?
Fuck you. You're right, but fuck you. But specifically for the Windows mixed reality headset, I think the Minecraft VR is the best experience we'll get because it was made specifically for that.
Mm-hmm.
And because not every game is made for it. Like, games I've played are like VR Dungeon Night, which I highly recommend. You should play it.
Okay.
But
I think I've tried that before.
it's multiplayer too, so it's better with friends. And Tyler and I have it. So, I think we got it together because he got a headset. It's like, hey, let's find some
I think I
games.
played it at your house and I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
so,
it's fun. And they've updated it a lot recently too. And I think the last time I dived into
We
it
need to
was
do
when you
Payday
played it.
all together.
Oh yeah.
That is actually fun in VR.
It is.
Alright, big thing now?
Big thing.
Big thing.
Game Awards.
Oh.
Wow. The Game Awards. With no Smash announcement.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was kind of mediocre this year.
Yeah.
I'd say.
For the first ever Game Awards I actually watched, I was kind of disappointed.
I think I was actually super distracted as I was watching because I was working on my own stuff, and I was like, okay, I guess the Game Awards are happening. I want to tune in.
I should have, since I was expecting like the Smash announcement, like to be near the end or like before Game of the Year, like they did with Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the entire thing. I should have been in bed by that point to wake up and go to work at 4 in the morning the next day.
That sucks to be you.
So I basically got less sleep for an announcement that didn't happen, and we got Need for Speed instead. Or Fast and Furious.
No,
sorry,
yeah,
my
Fast
bad.
and Furious.
I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my god, I don't care about this in the slightest.
But they had Vin Diesel there.
I don't
That
give
made
a fuck.
No, to be fair though, you did do that to yourself.
Because I thought that would be the announcement.
Yeah.
Literally everyone thought that, so I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
I'm surprised Sekiro won Game of the Year.
Really?
Yes. Man, I thought
I don't even remember what was nominated.
it was.
I know Sekiro, Devil May Cry, I think Death Stranding was on there?
Death Stranding was, Smash Ultimate was.
Why was
It
Smash
was?
Ultimate on there?
It was?
That was last year.
It's because it wasn't released in time for the Game Awards last year.
Oh,
Because it came
yeah.
out the day after the
Right.
Game Awards. So I think anything from like the time they announce the nominees until they nominate the next nominees or they announce the next nominees
Yeah.
is game.
I think Smash was probably not. I knew Smash was no way going to get that.
Yeah, I was hoping it
The
would.
Outer Worlds was one of them?
Yeah. I forgot
That's
about
a
that.
good game, but I don't think that's anywhere near Game of the Year.
What was
Yeah,
the, like,
that's not a game of the year. I've heard very good
Control? That I thought
Control.
Control was gonna win. I had not heard anything about Control.
I had never
until,
heard of Control
I've heard
before the
nothing
Game
but
Awards.
good things about Control.
And I want to play Control now.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about Control until they had announced the nominees. But just from everything I'd heard, I was convinced that was gonna win.
I didn't know what was going to get it because there was a lot of very good quality games that could have gotten it. I think
I have a list of all the awards if we want to go through some of them.
But before that, I think that my Game of the Year wasn't even nominated. It was only nominated for one award.
which was
I don't remember what the award was, but it was Fire Emblem Three Houses.
oh yeah.
That was your Game of the Year.
What?
That was your Game of the Year?
Yes.
If it makes you feel better,
Okay.
my favorite podcast got they did their game of the year recently, and Three Houses got it.
Really?
I fully expected that because
Oh,
I've
that's
heard.
something we should have done. We should have done our own Game of the Year thing.
Yeah, but do you know how much prep that has to do? And,
We'll do it next year.
next year. Yeah.
But I don't know. Fire Emblem. I mean, this is just gonna turn into a mini review. But
Oh God, please keep it short.
yeah, I apologize. And I just thought it was. I mean, there's three different routes that you can take with it. I only played one, but I really want to go back and do the other ones.
I need to go back and finish my first route because I haven't finished it yet.
I feel like Three Houses is to Fire Emblem as Persona 5 is Persona, but
Yeah.
like on a higher level.
I think that Fire Emblem Awakening was that for the series.
True.
I never played it, but I know that got like kind of popular.
But then Three Houses did it again.
Yeah. I think that
So good, we did it again.
I think
Electric Boogaloo it is!
I think that Three Houses is what Royal will be for Fire
Okay,
Emblem. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Like how people hear about it, but then like there's the game that made it popular that a lot of people play. But once it gets popular, more people are gonna join in on the next one. And I think that's what Three Houses was.
Okay,
That makes total sense.
Wait, was Three Houses even a nominee for Best Game?
No, it was only nominated for one other thing.
Interesting.
I think it was like.
Do we want to go through some of the like the categories?
There's only one that I care about. Devil May Cry 5 is legally the best action game.
Yeah, I knew you'd be happy about that one.
You have no idea how happy I was when I heard them announce that. I was like, yes! Fuck yeah!
So, are any of us at all surprised that Luigi's Mansion 3 was best family game?
No, I was not surprised.
I mean, all of those were Nintendo games.
I was expecting them to be all Nintendo games, but I didn't think it would be Luigi's Mansion.
I think
I don't even remember what was nominated.
It was
think-
Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Luigi's Mansion 3, Smash Ultimate, and Yoshi's Crafted World.
That's Smash Ultimate. Isn't it?
because it
Oh,
was.
I guess
Yeah,
It's a
but
family Nintendo game.
I think
Kind of.
if Smash came out this year, like at a time where people would be fine with it being in the Game Awards, I think it would have won. Because
But
Smash
it did win Best Fighting Game, though.
Oh yeah, it did. That's fair.
What did Fire Emblem win?
I'm trying to find it. Oh, looking for a nominee.
Because I'm pretty sure it won the category.
It won
wasn't
Best Strategy Game.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
When I saw, I remember
And
saying
then
that.
comparing it to the other strategy games on here, none of which I've played, I agree with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Fire Emblem Three Houses showed up for Best Strategy Game, I was like, for the nominee, I was like, that's gonna get it. And
Yeah,
then I got
like-
it, I'm like, not surprised.
It was it was Fire Emblem 3 Houses was a very good game.
I've heard nothing.
As my
but good
first
things.
foray into Fire Emblem, I really enjoyed it.
I've
I've
heard
played so
literally
far.
nothing but great things about it. So
Yeah.
I'm
And you
surprised
can
it
play
wasn't a
'cause it's
nominee
on-
for Game of the
You
Year
can
though.
play it because it's on the Switch.
Yeah.
Get it.
Blue Lions all the way.
Nah, it's all about the I can't remember what they're
Black
called.
Eagle. Yeah, okay,
Black
you can't
Eagles.
remember what they're called, so go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, so
why,
it's
why are
totally
they the
great.
best?
That because they're the fucking Empire.
Okay, that's not good enough.
I literally went with them because they're the Empire. Not the Galactic Empire, but an Empire.
Rebel scum
Fuck you.
for the rest of my life.
Those are the yellow ones.
No.
That's how I view them, though. Because they're kind of like the ragtag people. Because, like,
Kind of.
the red guys are, like, the Empire. The blue guys are the Kingdom. The yellow guys are just guys.
They're the Alliance.
just boys.
So yeah, they are.
What do these guys do? They're just guys. being dudes.
It's red is Empire, blue is Kingdom, yellow is Alliance.
Okay.
And I just see them as, like, the common rabble.
At least it got a award, so I'm happy. At least happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Also, they
Ooh,
announced.
okay, question. Looking at the nominees for audio design, do you think Modern Warfare should have won that?
I think it's fair
I don't-
because
what were the other nominees?
I've seen this.
The other nominees were Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro.
I think that's fair because the sounds for I don't want to say Devil May Cry for Modern Warfare are really fucking good.
They are.
Yeah, but I've also heard so many complaints about how loud the footsteps are.
I don't give a fuck.
But does it sound good?
But does it sound good?
Yeah, I guess it does. Ooh, what about Mobile Game of the Year?
I did not give a shit.
No, who
Call
plays
of
mobile
Duty
games?
Mobile.
I did not give a shit.
Of course, Call of Duty wins the mobile game of the year.
Let's see.
Fortnite got a reward, and I was like, I don't care. But I
Probably
can't
the
be-
one that I was most interested in, because it's just the kind of person I am, is like the narrative game of the year.
Oh yeah, what won that?
Disco Elysium, which I've never heard of before the Game Awards.
I've heard it was good, but I don't know anything about it.
And compared to the other games on this list, like A Plague Tale, Innocence, again, never heard of, Control, Death Stranding, and The Outer Worlds, it's gotta be good.
You know what I think though? I think if Death Stranding came out a little bit sooner than many people, then that probably would have gotten Game of the Year.
Yeah, probably.
But the thing about Death Stranding is I hear that it's either fucking phenomenal or absolute shit. Or at least at the very least, things that happen, like parts of it, are either phenomenal or absolute shit.
I bought it for Evan, and he has beaten it. I still have yet to play it, but he said when you start out, the gameplay is pretty cool. And like that's something that's you'll either love or hate. It's a lot of walking, And it's
Well, isn't it just like delivery simulator?
kind of, but
You're the
like,
milkman.
but like eventually, but like you'll keep getting like all these tools and stuff, and there's these things called BTs. They're like these invisible monsters. I mean, if you've seen the trailers, like the handprints.
Those are so cool.
And you'll have to like avoid those, and like the encounters with those are like really cool. Is what he said, but eventually you'll get like this. I'm not sure if it's a weapon or what, something that like will make you be able to like kill them or something like that. And that just kind of takes the fun out of it, because instead of like trying to like sneak around these things you can't see, you are just running up to them and like hitting them with this thing, and like all of a sudden they're gone. So like kind of takes a lot of the fun out of it.
I'm think it sounds to me that it's a game that could have been phenomenal, but it kind of like tripped and fell like halfway through.
That's very accurate to the game, because you can just be like running down a hill and then lose your bounce, and then you lose all your cargo when you face plant on the ground.
Face plant.
Yeah, that.
Fucking, I fell over, baby just spilled out. I don't know what to say.
I was watching him play this one time, and he was getting attacked by his
Don't
beak.
you have to actually like rock the baby, like your controller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
asks
you have to
the
take care of the baby.
calm?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I was told that the baby cries so much, and it's the most annoying thing ever.
I mean, probably when you're playing it. I mean, I didn't really hear it a lot because it comes through the speaker in the controller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ew.
Why?
Because it's like you're holding the baby, and
No.
like makes it more realistic.
I mean, that's cool that that's a thing, but no.
But like, I was watching him play one time. He was getting attacked by BTs, and when they get to you, they like all this goo like comes out of nowhere. I don't know what is going on, but there's like this big goo monster that's like chasing you, and he was like running away like up this mountain from this thing, and he's like, you can throw like bottles of your own pee at it because that hurts it.
Calm down, Bear Grylls.
And like, it's just like throwing these, and eventually he like defeated the thing, and like all the goo went away. He's like, yeah, and then he took one step, fell off this rock, just face plant, all his cargo just went flying.
Oh, God.
Oh, it was awesome.
Alright. I don't know if I'll give I might give Death Stranding a chance if I can. I don't know.
won't.
You need a PlayStation first.
Well, yeah.
I'm not gonna touch it. I don't think I'm smart enough for that game.
But what I like about the Game Awards was that it did actually shed some light on games that we certainly saw a little bit of in E3, but never actually got to fully think about. I mostly think of Ghost of Tsushima.
Like Halo Infinite.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was not there.
Oh, was it not there?
It was in the Xbox Series X announcement, and that was it.
So it's technically there.
But it was not an official Halo thing.
They're just saying, "Hey, new Xbox, there's a new Halo." It's like, oh well, we
Because
didn't know that.
it's your staples of Xbox: car, gun, and Green Man.
Yeah.
Card Gun and Green Man.
I don't remember what
the
the other
Three
thing was.
Musketeers.
There was three things. It was Forza, Chief, and something else. It might have been Gears. I don't remember.
I think it was Gears.
Probably Gears.
I don't know.
Because Gears is the other Microsoft staple.
Yeah.
Whoa, what if they had Gears to smash?
I would not know.
Chainsaw gun people.
I mean, I don't think that. I don't
What,
think that
what about
guns
the
are.
what about the pop Funko versions? Because they have their own pop game.
No.
It's a
I
stupid
mean,
strategy
absolutely
game. but-
not.
I don't think that people like bring up the like guns in Smash would probably like be too much.
You say that,
I mean,
but
Joker.
yeah.
I think that like
yeah, but when they like were showing off Joker's like moveset, the first thing they said was Joker's
Gun.
special is a gun.
But like yeah, so like I don't think that.
But then you
argument's
have
very
the
good.
argument with Joker, and that his gun's a model. The Chief's guns are real.
It's a gun.
Bayon-
It shoots people.
Bayonetta's gun is also
Yeah, Bayonetta has
Bayonetta.
4 guns.
She
and
has 4.
fucking Snake has grenades and rocket launchers.
But I think now with Gears, you might be going a little bit too far with the guns, where you have literal chainsaws and like swords on them, where you're like slicing people and have
Yeah,
like
that's
bloody.
fun.
It won't be.
mess.
It won't be as brutal, obviously. 'Cause
I know,
what-
but I'm like,
It's fun though. It's all good fun.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing with like. I think if you want to go that route, you put in Doom Guy.
who do you think is more likely, Chief or Doom Guy?
Doom.
Chief, because Doom Guy.
Yeah,
actually,
Chief.
Doom Guy seems too violent.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, they wouldn't make it that way. But he seems way too violent of a character to exist in Smash.
Yeah.
But that also depends on what version of Doom
Goomba.
of Doom Guy you take. You take like because you can take the old Doom Guy from original Doom, or you can take new Doom Guy from Doom Guy.
Either way, he's super fucking pissed, and he's not. He's not exactly. Okay, I thought Bayonetta was a little much, but I think Doom Guy is definitely because Bayonetta's at least ridiculous enough to be fun. Doom
Yeah.
Guy is like he's literally too angry to die.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
You're trying to. So new things that were shown for E3. Ghost of Tsushima was the one thing.
Still not interested in
I'm not interested, but I think I'd like to see more of it.
I'm kind of disappointed because like I'm seeing this as like a phase. Like we're going into a phase of games like that.
Old era shit.
Yeah, because like we had the pirate phase for a while, and now we're going into this.
We're fucking
now into old time Japan.
Yeah, because you can't deny we were in a pirate phase for a while.
Gamers are slowly turning into
Kind of,
fucking
yeah.
weebs.
Pretty much, actually.
I mean, I won't
if you think
deny
about
that.
it.
But like we're going into like a phase of like a new phase of like popular games like settings. Like old-timey Japan, which is cool and all, but I'm just not interested
I
in
don't
that.
think that's gonna be. I think that's just something that we'll see a lot this time around.
Like, what's the next phase gonna be? Are we gonna go back to space?
I'd be fine going back.
Yeah,
to
it wouldn't
space.
be too bad.
If you have a horror game phase, I'm in that.
I think the horror game phase
I'm
came
not.
and went with PewDiePie.
I'm not okay with that.
Not that PewDiePie ever went.
There
but-
was Sons of the Forest. That was kind of spooky.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Force 2.
Never played the first Forest, but it has
I
me interested.
did, but I never finished it.
It looks spooky. I like it.
The Forest has a VR version that I want to play.
Oh really?
Yeah, but Tyler won't play it with me because I played the Forest with him, and
Is
he
he too
won't.
scared?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. We never played it because he won't do it.
Yeah. I don't know if there's really much from what we got outside of like whether like just more showing of games to tell people if you're still happy to be able to say I'm interested in this or I'm not interested in this. Because there's a decent amount that I'm interested in, and some stuff there for like players that have played a game and they're getting a sequel. I'm like, oh, like what is it, Brave something?
Oh, this isn't in your list. No, finish.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if there's really much I could say about the new things outside of like, oh, this looks interesting and that looks interesting. Sure. Whatever.
Okay,
The Game Awards are a thing.
This isn't on your list of the Game Awards of things, but something that I'm excited for is Surgeon Simulator 2.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I am actually excited for that.
I hope it's like co-op or something.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That would sound dumb.
And it would be great.
Exactly. I was gonna say that sounds dumb in the best way.
Because, like, from the trailer, it looks like it's a bunch of clones operating on each other.
Yeah.
So that very well could be set up to be like a co-op game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sucker for games that don't take themselves seriously unless they go way too far. But, because I don't think Surgeon Simulator does not take itself seriously at all.
No, you're fucking using a hammer to break someone's chest open.
Exactly.
To rip their organs out and throw a new heart in.
You can operate on fucking the president and an alien.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do with Surgeon Simulator 2?
Robot surgery?
I'm just excited for it. I don't think they gave a date for it, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good.
I'm content with the Game Awards, honestly. I think it's fun.
I mean, it could have been better. It didn't have Joker in it. this year.
We had the Nintendo Direct effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we are expecting something huge every single time, and
so-
if there's not something huge, we are completely disappointed and hate the Direct.
So
Right.
that brings up a question for me. When is the next Direct?
No one knows.
Okay.
one knows.
They usually don't announce them until a few days out.
Oh, that's wonderful. What if I can't make it?
That's your own problem.
Watch it on your own time.
Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not gonna go back and watch it after it happened. I'm just gonna go watch another video explaining it in a shorter time.
I feel like they're always at random times too. They're either like they can be like super early in the morning or just like in the afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually been a recent Nintendo Direct that I've watched like as it was happening or like the day it happened. It's always like a couple days before, like later.
I always try to watch them as they're happening.
I like to try and watch them when they're happening because seeing like something Twitter kind of takes away from the fun of it.
Yeah.
But I like getting my information and not having to sit through it, so I guess I don't really care.
I just like Nintendo Directs anyway, because even if something huge isn't announced, something that I like usually is.
Yeah. Nintendo's nice.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to say. Real question is, what is your guys' game of the year?
I already said.
Oh yeah, I also think I already said.
I have also played Sekiro, so I do think that Fire Emblem was better than Sekiro. Not that Sekiro's bad, but like
I don't have a game of the year.
Interesting. And not even
Well,
like
because I haven't really played that many games that came out this year.
that's the same thing with me. Like
I'm picking out of the games that came out of this year that I enjoyed. I might have to go with Fallen Order because it came out this year and I enjoyed it.
majority of the games I played this year were Persona games, and none of those came out this year.
Yeah,
the closest
'cause-
one that came out was December last year, and that was 2. That was Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight and Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight.
Because like my because the game I've probably enjoyed the most playing this year was Persona 5, but that didn't come out this year.
True.
It's my favorite game of all time, but it's not my game of the year because it didn't come out this year.
Yeah, I think this
So
year was
I
like.
have to go with Fallen Order.
I think as far as this year, this has been the year that I've played the most stuff that's come out like this at the same year. But like this kind of woven into a bunch of stuff that came out before. Even if it's like not even super old, like 2017, 2016, 2018, and then like a few things that are older than that. People are trying to are talking about the conversation of game of the decade, and that's way too much good.
What
game
even
to,
came out this year? I would have to put Skyrim in there.
I don't know if I'd put that for game of the decade. Though.
I love Skyrim. I just think it's been milked too much.
Yeah. It's been milked too much. Yeah.
I'll say this though, the VR version's really fun.
Because here's the thing about game of the decade. When you think of game of the decade, you have to
Can I
include things
legally
like...
say... No, that's not...
Because that includes
decade,
stuff
though.
that comes from, like, that's 22, like, year 2000 to now.
This
That's
was, like,
a
the
lot of
biggest
fucking
gaming
game.
decade ever.
Yeah, easily. This is
From
definitely...
the year 2000.
Oh, wait, no, not
It'd
decade.
be
2010. But even then,
Because
that's
my
still...
game of the decade isn't in... Or what I would say is my game of the decade isn't in this decade.
What, WoW?
Battlefront 2.
Oh.
That would be my game of the decade.
Ew.
But that came out in 2005.
Ugh. That's a lot of good games that I don't even want to... I'd
trying
rather see what other people say, and...
Yeah, I'm looking up a
Wait,
list
hold
just
on.
to
When
see
did-
what all there is. I don't
Me-
even... What is Virginia?
It's a state.
Oh, well, hey, shut up. I just looked at Polygon's 100 games of the decade, and their number 100 is Virginia. I don't know when this game came out, but I have no clue what this is. Life was Strange. Slay this.
Game of the decade.
Fire Emblem Three Houses is your number 97. Okay, I can't trust this.
Here's the thing, though. Like, when you...
Oh, okay. Maybe that's my game of the decade.
I probably yelled
When you
really
say
loud
game of the
right there.
decade, though, you include things that came out, like, this year, and also things that came out, like, way
That
earlier.
didn't... No, I guess it did.
Because, like...
What were you about to shout at the top of your lungs?
Well...
Because I think it's kind of, like, it feels like, even if it's not, I feel like it feels artificial to say, like, a game that came out this year could be game of the decade, because I would like to say that with Devil May Cry 5, but that seems unfair, because it literally just came out this year.
I guess technically Minecraft would fit into this because it was
Yeah.
officially released in 2011, but it came out in alpha and beta in 2009.
I think that Minecraft would be a fair
It's
game of-
not my game of the decade.
I
It's
think it's-
nowhere close to it, as even though how much I play it. What are you freaking out about?
Polygon? What are you on?
I mean,
Number 86, Kim Kardashian Hollywood.
What?
For their game of the decade.
just to remind you, I don't listen to Polygon. Just like how we don't.
I'm just here for game I like ideas for what I
What
like.
do they have for number
Yeah.
one? That's all I care about.
I don't know, that's a different page. 84 is Flappy Bird. That game was not that good.
I am about to throw this laptop out the fucking window. You know what? Let's go and come back to it because we need to fucking end this podcast already. We've been
Yeah.
going on for
How long
so
have we been going?
Very.
Yeah.
Very. 2:30.
Jesus. Jesus.
Let's-
2 hours 30 minutes. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Let's get to our pop-ups now.
This isn't really relevant anymore.
You can do all of yours, honestly.
I'm going to start with one
Okay.
because 3 of them could be condensed into one.
Yes.
But I'm going to start with one of these. It's not really relevant or trending anymore, I should say. The Rise of Skywalker Battlefront 2 trailer was number 1 on YouTube trending for like a day.
Yeah, that's...
That really shows how far that game has turned around in the past 2 years.
I think it's pulling in, like, even, like, better numbers than launch right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's better numbers than launch, but much more
up there.
stable.
It's up there.
It's much more stabler than launch.
I know it's doing better than a few months after launch.
Yes, it's definitely doing better than that. Because I feel like most dev teams would just give up after like a launch like that.
They're pulling Anthem.
Kind of like what 343 did with the Master Chief collections, but have since come around and fixed again. Mm-hmm. But they didn't. But DICE didn't stop. They stuck with it, and I'm happy they did. Because normally I'll shit all over EA any given time I can.
Just look at Anthem. It's a dumpster fire.
exactly.
Dude, Anthem
But
is-
they did something right with Battlefront 2 and Fallen Order. I was going to say Rise of Skywalker. And technically, if you think about it, the Old Republic too, because EA owns BioWare.
Yeah.
And BioWare makes the Old Republic.
Yeah, I forget about that all the time.
And BioWare also made KOTOR 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't make 2. I think Obsidian made 2.
Wait, so is your...
Now that I think about that, BioWare probably actually...
BioWare's the best Star Wars game developer ever, and they're not being given Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, people have been saying, like, the Old Republic might get shut down soon. I just went on a totally different, page right now.
They won't because they just released an expansion for it.
We should probably fucking stay on track.
I'm sorry. I'll bring this up later.
My editing, I'm mourning for myself.
I'll talk about this later. Okay.
Don't worry, you'll get better at this as we go.
Yeah.
You're fueling my problems.
We've kind of all just gone off track. Hey, what was that it?
Sounds Republic?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker Battlefront 2 update, number 1 on trending for like a day. Not gaming trending.
Nice.
And like that's usually like the Rise of Skywalker trailer, not the Battlefront 2 trailer.
Interesting.
So congratulations, Dice and EA.
Yay.
Good work. You did.
You've turned
You
the
did
game
it good.
around.
You did something good. For
Everyone
a
liked
change.
that.
Everyone liked that. What's your other ones?
Reddit and gay European.
Just leave it at that.
That is a.
That needs no context.
Is Yusuke gay or is it European?
It's more so. I guess we'll just move on to that one since we're talking about it now.
It's a fun.
I have another one that I recently learned from Persona 5. Everyone's favorite gay European is voiced by Matthew Mercer.
Hey, we don't know if he's gay or if he's European.
He's both.
He's not European.
He's both. If that video taught me anything, he's both. So I would just like to take a moment to appreciate voice actors out there, because I would not have known that was him if I didn't look it up.
Yeah. Voice actors have been getting a lot of shit this year, come to think of it, but I think it's starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering right, then they are starting to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or like these the work conditions for them. I think in general the working conditions for people who work on games, whether it be devs or like voice actors or
But when was that whole Riot thing?
yeah, that was
that last year?
That
or
was
that
this year.
That was this year.
That was really recent.
Yeah.
But like that's such a good thing because
Yeah.
of the fact that like you have unionization.
Yeah.
Very good. I think it's a good year for devs. It's $2.
Yes.
It's fine. I don't know if people can hear that.
He's a good boy,
Mm-hmm.
so it's fine.
I barely heard it, so.
He's my best friend.
So, gay European. What are the Reddits you were trying to say?
We'll come back to that last,
Yeah.
because that'll just be something.
Yeah, that's.
Grant knows what they are.
Yes, I do.
I guess.
It's a place I'm not sure if we want to go.
It's a place I'm happily subscribed to on Reddit.
Oh, you are subscribed to it.
All
Actually,
all three of them.
oh really?
Yeah.
I think I was only subscribed to like 2.
Alright.
It's just for cool fan art.
Okay. Alright.
Not
One of
the-
them is
not
very
the-
not safe for work.
Yes,
One of them.
some of them,
One of them.
a few of them.
Of the 3 I have there, one of them
Yes,
is
that
not.
I agree with.
Alright.
Okay.
I guess I'll go next. So I guess first one for me would be The Cry of Fear, Lost Tracks and Memories by Andreas Rönnberg. So this is album of, I guess, Cry of Fear songs that didn't get into the game, if I remember.
Ooh,
right.
okay.
So, but what's great about this is that it's less about like the Cry of Fear soundtrack, where like the Cry of Fear soundtrack has its songs, but it also has some like really fucking creepy as shit ambiance and shit. If you want a song to make you feel fucking terrified and like fuck you up, go to the Cry of Fear soundtrack and find the song "Kill Yourself."
Ah!
Boy, is that a thing?
Will it make me want to kill myself?
Probably.
Do I need to listen to this?
It's first of all, it's a wonderful piece of sound design and stuff, and that fits in the game. But Christ, but this is more of just like
Such a blunt name.
yeah,
Hey, you.
It's straight to the point.
Listen to this song. Kill Yourself.
But this is more of just like actual like regular songs for the most part. Some of it is like kind of ambiance, but like stuff that you can enjoy by itself rather than something that is like a part of a really creepy, dark horror game. So I'm recommending this because it's just really good music, honestly. And on the topic of music, I didn't get to talk about the shows these were associated with, but I'll recommend The Pillows, which is a Japanese band who worked on the entire Fooly Cooly series.
That's a funny name.
It's a very fun alt rock.
Ooh, okay.
It's if you're like me and it's just like I don't care if the lyrics are in Japanese, it's still fucking good music.
I have a playlist on Spotify called Weeb.
In that case,
That's
I
it.
The Pillows is on Spotify, so
Alright,
you
I'll
got
listen.
a pretty good handful of songs from a very great band to add to there.
One thing Splatoon's soundtrack has taught me is I don't care if the song is in English.
Or if it's in the real language.
Yes, I will listen to the songs that are in Inkling all day.
Yeah. That Splatoon soundtrack is really good too.
It is.
But Fooly Cooley's soundtrack is also very good, which is the main reason why I got into the Pillows. Because I've heard about how great they are, but I never really knew until I listened to it. It's kind of like Shield Hero, honestly. And then last, let's go with JoJo's Bizarre Sound Design. It's just,
What a name.
It's a channel that highlights the sound design of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which, especially given Part 5's sound design, it is fucking phenomenal. It's mostly just like appreciation for it, but what?
Why is the door like trying to open?
Because the wind is a thing.
But
In
the
your
wind
house.
isn't real.
Audio.
Society's a lie.
It's a lie.
We're just in a simulation.
Oh yeah, so JoJo's Bizarre Sound Design. They'll do like showcases of different stands, different character sounds, different episodes. But what I like about them is that they'll also do like their own thing. Like there's something that I fucking come to love from them called the sound design concepts, where they basically use collected designs from the sound designer of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures and use that to try to make designs for stands whose sounds we have no idea of, like stuff that has been animated yet. And some of those designs are absolutely phenomenal. Like, I think at some point, maybe today, I'll show you guys one of them, which I am absolutely in love with. But it's just a showcase of sound design and really good sound design. So I would like to recommend that.
Alright, is it on to me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who else
so-
is there?
Well,
I
well,
have one more, but I'll
Tupac.
save it for last.
Okay.
But so, I mean, mine's not probably just like an obscure video people should check out, but I think it's one of probably the best videos I've seen in a very long time. It's JonTron surviving edged weapons.
I think anything from JonTron is worth watching.
This video seriously is one of my favorite like ever. It's like I was seriously laughing the whole way through, and I thought it was just very entertaining. It's just breaking down a Canadian police like tutorial video from 1988 about how to survive, like how to deal with situations that involve like bladed weapons, and for some reason they call it edged weapons. But it's so ridiculous and dumb, and he just does such a good job of making that point that this is ridiculous.
Is it any different from any other JonTron video?
It's pretty similar to them. Just like the stuff in it is so dumb, and he capitalizes on that so well.
Okay.
Like better than a lot of like I mean, it just does it in his own way, and it just like the stuff in it like complements what he does so
Okay.
well.
So it's just like one of JonTron's best, especially
Yeah.
given the material that he's given.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. It's like I think it's one of his most recent videos, but yeah.
What's your last thing?
Alright, so there's this place called Reddit.
God damn it! Just fucking say the subreddits.
I gotta build up to
Do I
it.
need to take notes?
No, but I'm gonna build up to it because it's 3 Reddit subreddits.
You could just say them. You don't have to like say, "Yeah, you ever heard of Reddit?"
Really was founded.
Guys in the back just like, "How do you spell that?"
Is
Alright,
there
well,
gonna be a test?
I'm building up to this because it has to do with Persona 5. It's not the Persona 5 subreddit, but now that I've beaten it, I've gone to the Persona 5 subreddit, and I found some other subreddits connected to it.
Yes.
I have
Come on.
found the ChurchOfAnn, the ChurchOfMakoto, and the ChurchOfKasumi, the new girl from Royal. They're nice. They're just basically just subreddits of like fan art of those specific characters.
A lot of it is actually really cool.
It is.
Some of it goes a little too far.
Especially the on subreddit.
Yeah,
A lot of that is not safe for work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the good not safe for work.
So you're telling me that I need to visit it?
Yes.
For a considerable amount of time.
There's not a lot on there, but there's some every now and then. If you just scroll through it. And it's good.
And yes, every Persona character, like girl, has one.
Notice how I only specifically mentioned those 3. I will not go to the Futaba one.
That one's actually not bad.
Is it?
I don't
No.
know why. That sounds like... I feel like the Futaba one has a bunch of really weird fetish shit because
That-
she is the most popular girl.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I don't want to go to it. Because considering how old she is in the game, and the stuff they do on subreddit,
I will say this one thing though. Everyone says like she's such a kid. She's only a year younger than
isn't she 15?
She's and the others are 16.
I thought they were like 18.
I thought they were 17.
She's only a year younger than them.
Well, that's fucked up. I thought she was like way younger than them.
No.
No, she's just kind
How
of
can
a-
she be?
There is another subreddit though that is of someone way younger that is in major spoiler territory, but that I don't.
Oh, I should go to that one.
I was gonna say
But yeah, there's that one. There's actually nothing that's like
I was gonna say
illegal.
I was gonna say the twins, but they're also hundreds of years old. But that is scum territory right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But like, if you were like Persona 4, there's like a Church of Risei and like a Church of Chie, and like Persona 3, there's a Church of Aegis and Yukari.
Yeah, aren't they like kind of young, like really young?
Who?
Oh wait, no. Wait.
All of them are about the same age.
Okay, never mind.
All of them are around like that 16.
I think I'm
17
just
age.
thinking of the Persona 3 protagonist, and he looks much younger than other characters.
He does.
Ooh.
But yeah, they're all about the same age.
Sorry, I've gone to said subreddit and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, wait, are you looking at the right one?
I think I am. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't show him.
Nope.
I will splash only the non-suitable for work ones onto the screen right now.
Damn it. Rule 3, no NSFW.
You know what's funny? There's probably people that, like, if they're listening to this podcast, they're just like, oh shit, they're putting porn up there, and then they kind of go up and realize that there's nothing there. First of all,
For the most part, there's none.
yeah, first of all, you're dumb.
Yes.
Because you thought that would actually happen. But also, come on, that's kind of funny. Is that all for... Is that it? Are we done with this podcast?
Are we? I have a notification.
That was a weird way to end it.
I have one notification.
Really?
Yes. I'm kind of putting YouTube on the back burner.
Oh no!
I'm gonna do Twitch instead. Go follow me on Twitch. Twitch. Shut the fuck up.
Are you going to do, like, most of your content's on Twitch, but you have a YouTube channel for highlights?
If I remember to make the highlights. My thing is that with the way, kind of how we started this episode of the podcast, YouTube is kind of,
Yeah,
shitty.
it's kind of...
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
been
and throw my
different
hat
now.
into the Twitch ring for a while, see how that goes. And if anything, out of the few streams I've done recently, I've been enjoying streaming more than I have been recording videos.
Become like Sips from the Yogscast.
Don't compare me to that beautiful bastard.
But that's just what he does now.
Yeah, I know.
He streams and posts his highlights.
I would like to do full-fledged highlights, like take the entire stream and condense it to a highlight video, but that would take way too long to do.
Yeah, but do you know how fun those are?
They are, but I'm not that good at editing.
Okay.
I could try.
But hey,
I mean,
if there's,
if you want to.
if there's any-
I can't pay you for it.
if there's
but-
anything being in art school has taught me is that if you want to die, then as you're doing it, then there's a very good chance the results will be worth it.
So, since I'll be streaming on Twitch a lot more frequently, I would also recommend you go follow my VOD channel, Freebiy on Demand, where all my Twitch streams get uploaded to YouTube. So,
Oh yeah, I remember that's the thing.
it's really only used for uploading like streams. So, like yesterday, I did a stream where I played a little bit on like our Minecraft server. Then I went and played cross-play Minecraft with someone on PlayStation for a bit. So that was about 2 hours. That's uploaded to my VOD channel. I started to do like an Old Republic stream on playing the Jedi Knight. It's like 2.5 hours long.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I did that stream that you guys were watching that Saturday night where I was playing Modern Minecraft. That was almost 3 hours long.
I was there for a lot of it.
So
I didn't get to be there.
I think
for
you
long.
kept streaming because I was there.
I didn't think I'd be able to.
no, I kept streaming. Well, maybe I don't know.
I mean, I was working on my project. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
decided on
I was also working on
Anyways,
my project,
it-
but it was
anyways,
also super late,
you
so I
miss,
didn't know if I
if you
wanted
miss
to
the
stay.
streams, just go to Freebiy on Demand. If you go to my channel, it's at the bottom of my recommended channels list,
Okay.
because I put my friends actually on the list, and the boys now as we are at the top. So, and anything that's another channel of mine is at the bottom, which is just Freebiy on Demand.
Yeah. I guess that being said, with your notifications, I don't really have any. But now that I have all this free time and stuff to work on, now that I don't have to worry about projects being in the way of it, I have a chance to get started on things.
It's about damn time.
As long as...
Considering how many times you said you were going to do something on the podcast.
The thing is that I'm not saying that things are going to be happening, nor am I saying that they're going to be happening soon. But that's just me. This is more just me saying, like, on some sort of platform that...
The more you say it to the public, the more likely you're going to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because someone like me will hold you to it.
Yeah, it's me trying to bring accountability to
That's
myself.
the main reason he beat Persona 5. Is because he told me he wants to beat it by the end of the year.
I need to do that more often where I tell people I'm going to do stuff so that they can be like, hey, fucking do this, you dummy. And I'm like, okay.
I think also another reason you beat it is because I was there.
Yeah.
But here's
but I think that added to it, though.
Yeah. But I think it's more of just like...
Christ, I should
now would be a very good time considering that I did just finish, like, making custom D&D shit. Well, not finish. I got the bulk of it done. Enough to have people make their own characters and stuff. Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I need to send you guys after this, but that's outside of this podcast. So...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't need... Don't worry about it. But, I guess I don't really have a notification, but I am saying, though.
Nor do I.
You just got here, and you don't do YouTube.
You are right.
You just should get your laptop and consider streaming.
You just exist, and honestly, I don't know if
I'm totally fine with that.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you'll do anything else but exist. Which actually sounds super main now that I say
I know what you meant, though.
I know what you meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Guys, let's fucking end this. It's been so long, I have to pee so badly.
Okay, before we end the podcast, what is our current runtime, just so the people know?
Before any editing?
Yes.
As I'm speaking now.
Right now. What's our runtime?
Exactly 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Wait. No,
okay,
God.
This is the longest 2 minutes of my life.
2 hours, 52 minutes, and 20...
So we
30
almost
seconds.
hit the 3-hour mark.
Yes.
That's what happens when you throw a third person in here.
I'm half tempted to say don't edit anything and just upload it to 3 hours.
No.
There's a lot of just garbage stuff in there.
There was so much fucking shite in here.
But it'd be funny.
Look.
It's probably a solid half hour's worth of bad, random stuff.
Look, Aiden, with just me and you, it's like an hour, like 2 minutes, like 2:20, fucking Christ. 10 minutes of content just gone. With this, I'm expecting like upwards of 20, maybe even 30.
I would say 30.
I would say 30 or more.
Yeah, this is gonna be a hefty boy.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We wanted Grant to be here.
We wanted this to happen. This is just...
You've done this to yourself.
Yeah. Aiden, this is just... Don't apologize. This is just how it be.
It really do.
Really be like that sometimes.
I think you should expect this when I am here.
Yeah.
And if you're going to start being here more frequently...
Yeah. So, this is going to be a...
We'll get better about it, though.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really... Because it's been a two-man podcast the entire time so far. So we didn't really account for the third person.
I've said this once. I've said this twice. I've said this many a times. This entire podcast is one giant experiment. And we're just throwing shit at a wall and hoping things stick. And we have to clean as well.
I think a lot of it came from just how many games we each talked about at the beginning.
Yeah, that's probably the most games we've ever talked about in one show.
And that's mostly because of the fact that we kept derailing.
Yeah.
So I'll figure something out. But for now, let's end this podcast.
Yeah.
I need a break.
My microphone's getting here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What? You sounded like a fucking flute that was played wrong.
I'm trying to do it in a normal voice, and be like, yeah, but then I also wanted to go high pitched at one point, and so that was just kind of the middle.
Oh yeah, that's why my castle over.
That was between my normal voice and falsetto. Where it just sounds like that.
Just do a podcast where you falsetto the entire time.
I would hate that.
I would hate that too.
I would punch you in the face if you made me do that.
Because I am bass baritone, so.
I'm ready. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Podcast is over.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening.
Oh my god.